What would you call that?
Damn good television.
This live stream is somehow sponsored by Noise Fighters. They are the makers of the Cliffhang IR, which is a riser that is designed for your red dot magnifier and laser aiming module, or anything you can stick on this monstrosity. So to support those who support us, go ahead and check them out if you're in the market for some very high quality, very expensive night vision equipment. Another sponsor of the channel is going to be Optics Force. They sell, well, you can probably guess, but if you're in the market for actual night vision units or objects that can provide a theoretical point of aim, then go ahead and check them out as well. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Today, we're going to be talking about, well, calibers and which ones are best, and we're going to be doing it in kind of a showdown style bracket. But before we get into that, we might as well bring Gary on. How's it going, sir?
I'm doing all right. Hey, we might be having some new sponsors coming up here shortly.
Really? Was it something that we've already talked about?
Nope, this is a surprise to you.
Okay, perfect. A surprise. Well, hopefully it's a good sort of surprise. We'll find that out later. But as you can see, Gary has pulled up quite a few of the calibers that he has on hand that we're going to be talking about. And I have a few littered on my desk as well. But why don't you go ahead and explain the rules for everybody? Because the rules are actually in the description of the live stream.
Okay, so what we've got going on here, rifle calibers only. So if we are talking about something like something that's also chambered in pistols, like 22 LR or 5.7, we're not talking about the pistol application. We're talking about the rifle application. It has to be something that either myself or John have gotten a chance to mess around with. So that rules out things like 338 Lapua, any of the normal magnums, or any of the rums, or 50 BMG. It's just, we don't have it. And also, another big rule is that it has to be commercially available. So that means that we aren't going to be using anything like 6 Dasher or 6 GT or any of the other fantastically amazing Wildcats that are available.
Sick. So let's go ahead and bring out the bracket. So this is what we're going to be looking at here. So this is a double elimination style. Let me go ahead and get actually into that tab. And so we have paired up mostly like for like. There's some oddballs in here. And then of course at the bottom we have a losers bracket as well. So there are a lot of different combinations that we're going to go over. The reason why I wanted it to be like for the first round is that after the first round, everything gets crazy because it's going to be random stuff versus random stuff. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of fun. So, well, do we have anything else to get to before we start off on the first matchup of the night? The venerable 30-06 versus 7.62 by 54R.
Oh yeah, there's one other thing that we should get to. If you donate, we're adding points. So
oh wait, we are.
I thought we talked about that.
For a second, I was kind of like a joke, but we're actually gonna like add points to the.
Sure, why not? Sure, why not? I'm absolutely not farming audience engagement with this.
How it's going to work is if me and Gary disagree on which one wins, we put it to a poll in the chat. And then whatever the chat decides wins if me and Gary have a disagreement. So you guys will actually decide some of these matchups because I'm sure me and Gary are going to disagree on a few of them. So should we go ahead and
probably?
Well, I mean, I know what I want to win. So, but let's go ahead and start out with the first one. So 7.62 by 54R is probably, well, I don't think it's probably, it is the longest serving military rifle caliber of all time. It is one of those things that it has enough case capacity to do just about anything. Whether you're loading 220 grain like armor piercing rounds or just your standard, I think it's 154 grain is like the standard loading for it. Obviously very famous in the Mosin Nagant, which used to be like $90 at Big Five, which were good old days, versus 30-06, which is probably still the most prolific hunting cartridge right now.
I mean,
probably
that's
it's probably not the most
arguable.
popular right now, but if you take like the last 100 years or so, 80 years or so, it's probably the most popular.
It's between the 54 and the 06.
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that the 30-06 is one of, if not the most versatile cartridges ever produced, period. You can go anywhere from 120 grain all the way up to 220s, 260s. So,
well, technically, yes, because you do have enough.
And they're commercially available too.
So. It's true. They're very ubiquitous here in the U.S., which is a downside of 7.60 by 54R right now, is that it is a little bit harder to find and you do have less variation with it.
Mm-hmm.
I also remember there are some 54Rs that are actually using the wrong bullets because I believe it's actually a slightly different diameter. It's 0.313, right? Am I saying that right?
So it is the Russian spec. They don't run a .308 bullet. They run a .310.
Right. So I've seen
you can get away with a .308, but it's
exactly. But your accuracy degrades because I've seen people test like two different brands of 54R, and one will shoot like 5 to 10 MOA, and the other one will be 2 MOA. Like just what should be identical rounds, but of course one is using the actual properly sized bullets, which are probably a little bit harder to find, and then one is using 30 caliber bullets, which are not the proper ones to use at all.
Right. You got that problem.
Yeah, the afterpain.
We'll get there later.
Yeah,
we'll get
for sure. So where are you leaning on this one? Because I'm actually curious.
Oh, 06 all the way.
You're really okay.
I'm a big fan of the 54, but the 06 is by far better.
I don't know if it's necessarily better, but I think in the US it's definitely easier to find. So if we're talking about right now, if you had to go use this caliber right now, even if their capabilities are very similar, yeah, I mean, I might kind of agree about 30-06. There's not a lot of like semi-auto rifles chambered in 30-06, but then there's not a lot of semi-auto rifles. Well, there are a couple, of course, but there's not a lot of competition in the 54R either.
I mean, if we want to talk semi-autos, it's the M1 Garand and the bar versus an SVD and a PKM, I guess.
Yeah. So
I don't even know if you can get a PKM and semi-auto though.
I've seen there's Rifle Dynamics made one just for fun. I want to say they have like a shorty 54R that like they shoot for some reason. It sounds awful, but they made one. But I would probably agree actually, because I do love 754R, but I've used it in a Mosin Nagant, and that was a fun rifle to shoot. But I think in the US, I think 30-06 has to move on. Now, this is double elimination, of course, so that should put 7.60 by 54R down in the losers bracket.
It's a tough It's a tough one. It's a tough one for the first matchup. So
for sure. No. They're both great cartridges. They've both been around forever. One in the U.S. military service, and the other one has been used by every country around the world. Now, this next one is kind of a battle of the meme cartridges. You have 6.8 SPC, which never really took off, and then 280 Remington, which I wasn't as familiar with 280 Remington, but this is actually basically a 30-06, just necked down to 280, which is what, 7mm, right?
Yeah. 280 is a 7mm. So yeah. 280 really, the 280 Remington really shines when you give it the Axil treatment, which increases the case angle on the shoulder, and it ekes out like something like 10% more performance just by changing the angle on the shoulder. But
I mean, you're launching these bullets pretty fast. You're launching a 7mm bullet, even 168, 175 grain, nearly 2,700 feet per second. So I mean, it's got some velocity on it. Now, 6.8 SPC I don't know if you remember this, but the ACR in the original Modern Warfare 3 was the 6.8 SPC variation, was what it was labeled as in game. But it's kind of I guess it's kind of like a 6.5 Grendel hybrid-ish. It's kind of like a slightly higher case capacity, a slightly higher BC bullet than like a 30 caliber bullet, but it's
a better
not
bolt face.
yeah, better bolt face for sure. But it's still kind of in that weird hybrid zone where it's not particularly great at anything. Now, if I had to choose between some standard-ish, let's say an AR-15 chambered in 6.8 SPC versus like a 280 rifle, I would probably choose 6.8 SPC because it's still ballistically capable. It's just not like a 280 Remington's like a serious like hunting cartridge or a distance cartridge if you really wanted to. So
I mean, it's not even like a serious distance cartridge compared to some of the other ones on the list that are
absolutely.
Like
there are other ones on here that are insane.
The 7 Mag is, I think, it eats the 280's lunch like all day. So, and it's really not even 280 is really not even that good unless you give it the Ackley treatment. And I've seen exactly one box of pre-made 280 AI on the shelf in the last 6 months.
Who was it made by?
I think it was Remington. I'm not sure.
Well, Richard asks, the 280 Rem isn't readily available, though, is it? I mean, depending on how big of a store you have access to, might have it.
I went to Sportsman's Warehouse that's close to me, and that's where I determined if something was readily available or not. So
right. All right. So I'm leaning towards 6.8 SPC though.
I'm agreeing with you.
Whoa, what the heck just happened? Oh, okay, I can actually move it. That's why. All right, so I think 6.8 SPC moves on, which will make it interesting versus 30-06 a little bit later on. But now this is an easy one for me. 223 versus 300 Blackout. 300 Blackout is like technically versatile in that you can get a supersonic, like 150 grain projectile, 125 grain projectile, and then a subsonic projectile that works out of the same gun with a standard bolt face. All you need to do is swap the barrel, right? But 223 is just such a great cartridge. It's cheap, it's easy to find, low recoil. You want to go 800 yards, perfectly fine. You want to put it into a really nice SPR setup, you can probably stretch it out to 1,000 fairly consistently. And so I'm leaning towards 223 right off the bat. I don't know how much time you want to give it to that.
I think 300 Blackout is a fantastic cartridge, and I love it. Like, I legitimately, it's probably one of the more fun ones that I have. Unfortunately, 300 Blackout is going to have to make it to the losers category because it just doesn't beat out 5.56 for anything. But
I agree.
Yeah, I'm thinking 223.
You can make, well, we're saying 223, but it's 223/5.56, just both of them. So I did put the poll in the chat just for fun. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are differences, but we're just talking about the calibers in general, right? Because we're not talking about specifically like 300 Blackout subsonic or 300 Blackout supersonic. We're talking about 300 Blackout. So 300 Blackout there are niche applications for 300 Blackout that I think work. But again, they're more niche, whereas you can do a 5.56 with, again, just about anything. And it's hovering at around 75 to 80% right now. We'll let that poll go for a minute, but give 223 the winner there and put 300 Black down in the losers column. Checking on the losers column real fast. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting discussion. 54R versus 280 Rem. All right, moving on to 6.5 Grendel versus 6 Arc. What are your initial thoughts on these calibers?
There's no replacement for displacement.
Wait, so you're gonna go 6.5 Grendel on this?
Yeah, I don't. 6 Arc seems like it has exactly one use, and that is for target shooting. 6.5 Grendel at least
put around on target.
6.5 Grendel, at least you can get a bolt gun for. I mean, and it's
No, you
seen
can get
wider.
6 bolt guns. They're just crazy expensive.
and 6.5 Grendel has seen military adoption, so you can get potentially, you can get cheap steel case for it. So,
yeah, the cheap steel case is awful. Like, I've gotten pretty horrible results with it. But here is 6 arc is the very nice shiny ELDM bullet here. That's this guy, and then 123 grain ball. Actually, in terms of cost, I think this was $1.50 a round, and then the FMJs were only $1 a round for the 6.5 Grendel, or a little bit over $1 a round. So price discrepancy isn't that much. When 6 arc first came out, it was super expensive and really hard to find. Now this Hornady stuff is at my local Shields for $1.50 a round, $30 a box for ELDMs.
Nice.
And it shoots 1,000 yards. Now, the reason why I have a bunch of this stuff now is because this carbon fiber Helix 6 barrel, that is from Next Level Armory. This barrel is $1,000. A cool $1,000 for that barrel. And it is, of course, chambered in 6 arc. So we will be doing some more testing with this. I think it's like a 17.5-inch barrel that has a rifle length gas system on it and some other cool stuff going on with it. The full rifle is $3,500, but the barrel by itself is $1,000. Ballistically,
I think we should put this one. I think we should put this one up for a poll.
Sure, I'd go for it because I love 6 arc ballistically. It's harder to get running, especially when suppressed, and the magazines don't always work. So it's a little bit finicky. So we'll go ahead and end that poll because 2231 by 82%. Let's go ahead and try. I'll throw this one up here real fast. This is going to be 6 arc versus 6.5 Grendel. See if I can actually spell that correctly. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards 6 arc ballistically, although I've taken both 6.5 Grendel and 6 arc out to 1,000 yards, and they were both pretty similar. So if it's easier to find ammo for it, if the barrels are a little bit easier to find, 6.5 Grendel and 6 arc both perform really well out of short barrels. I think you can get pretty decent velocities out of 12.5s. My brother actually has a 12.5 6.5 Grendel that he's going to be using for hunting and stuff like that, because again, those bullets are pretty effective, and you do have a better bullet selection as well.
I think we should let this poll run for a little bit because it's
close. 56%. Cody from Red Right Hand, how's it going, sir? He says 6 arc is more up to date and still way better ballistically. I do agree, it is better ballistically, but it is a little bit finicky. But if I'm going to be shooting one at distance, it's going to be 6 arc.
So while we're letting that one run, why don't we talk 22 versus 17?
I mean, if we're talking capability, 17 HMR, but ubiquity, cost of shooting,
22 has
ammunition.
22 has put more dicks in the dirt than any other round, possibly other than the 7.62x54. So, 22 supremacy here.
22 supremacy. Yeah, I mean, 22 long rifle suppressed. Subsonic ammo is one of the most fun things you can do. You can do it with kids. There's no recoil. There's no noise. It's just a great caliber. Julian comes in with the massive $20. Thank you very much, sir. And he asks, how is the barrel? Well, this barrel, this $1,000 Helix 6 barrel, supposedly has a proprietary carbon wrapping process, for $1,000 or better. I haven't actually shot it yet, though. So I don't know. But I will take it out to at least 1,000 yards, if not further. Hopefully the accuracy is good as well, because that's another thing. I'm just using factory loads. If you're hand loading, you can probably get a little bit more out of it, but I'm probably, again, just going to be using 108 ELDMs versus, I'm not really sure even what else I could get out there. I know there are a few new loads for 6 arc as well, but probably just those. But thank you for the $20, sir. Much appreciated, Julian. I hope you're enjoying your PLX-C. Let's see. Geez, come Julian, renewing his member for 10 months. Thank you, sir. I snagged a Knights 11.5 upper for that dollars off of Reddit. 100 rounds through it. Well, I think the Knights armament is also going to have a better resale as well. But I think Me personally, they sent that out. I didn't buy that. So they sent that out. For me, if I'm trying to spend that much money on something, like I'm probably buying a complete Geisley rifle, optic, laser aiming module for $3,500. That's probably what I would do. But yeah, that's expensive. All right, so what do we got? 6.5 Grendel, it's sitting right there. It's at 52, 54%.
This is a close one.
Red Right Hand says carbon barrels are ghee. Well, I hate to break it to you, but all barrels have carbon in them, sir. They haven't found a way to remove the carbon yet and still call it steel. So there is carbon in all barrels. I am sorry to inform you of that, sir. But if you mean carbon fiber wrap, then I've heard of bad things in really high calibers, but 6 arc isn't that hot of a caliber. So as long as it performs, that's what I'm hoping for. Just please perform.
So the problem with carbon fiber, with a carbon fiber wrapping, is that it does a really good job of insulating the barrel, which means your heat gets in there and then it doesn't get out. And unless you're using the carbon fiber to pull the barrel in tension, it doesn't remove any of the harmonics. So I think carbon fiber is a meme.
Well, again, so this one here, supposedly they go into detail about it's tensioned or something like that. I just need it to actually perform in the real world. Like if I'm shooting it and it barely holds 1 or 1.5 MOA for $1,000, like, come on, like $150 ballistic advantage barrel will also do 1.5 MOA, but it costs 1/10 as much, or 1/8 as much, or whatever it is. All right, so I think 6.5 Grendel actually wins it, unfortunately, if we leave it up to the poll. But the rules are the rules. So
I'm good with that. That is a close one.
Now, I still build customers' uppers in 6.5 Grendel whenever they ask me to, which is actually why I have 6.5 Grendel ammo laying around, is just so that I can test their uppers with it. That's really the only reason I keep it around. I don't actually shoot it that much. Julian says that his brother has a proof research for his 308 Tika. Seems decent. But for the price, it should be more than decent. That would be my stipulation. All right. 30-30 versus 45-70. I like 45-70. Personally.
Yeah, I agree. I've always had a good time with 30-30s, but I think it's overshadowed. I think 30-30 is vastly overshadowed by 7.62 by 39.
Well, but they're different applications, right? One of them is basically no, 30-30, that's the lever gun cartridge, right? I'm not crazy.
Generally.
Basically. Yeah. Because my brother, he has a 1854 lever action gun. That's in 30-30. We shot that. It's pretty fun. Cretin Kitchen says he has a carbon fiber proof 6 arc barrel. Well, I'd be interested to hear how yours does and if you think it's worth the money, because I think Proof Research's barrels are only like $1,000. Like they're not particularly expensive, or not $1,000. Sorry, like $600 or $700. So they're not as expensive as this one. Yeah, they are. They are kind of boomer cartridges, but I mean they're fun to shoot. 45-70 can be a legitimate hunting caliber as well. You have a ton of case capacity, so you can make really heavy subsonic bullets as well. And I mean they're both kind of meme lever action calibers, but I think 45-70 is a little bit more versatile.
I mean, as far as lever gun calibers go, these are pretty much the these are pretty much the standards if we're ignoring 357 and 44 mag.
Right, but that's a pistol thing.
And they're both very old. 30-30 was the first center fire cartridge produced. So yeah, whatever. 45-70 is just better.
Yeah. Especially for its intended application, unless it's just a dedicated deer gun or something like that.
I mean, 30-30's killed everything in the country. So, as far as hunting goes,
I mean, yeah, but that's the people back in the day, did whatever the heck they wanted to with these calibers that maybe not quite as ethical as it could have been. 1894, that's the year. Again, I'm not a lever gun guy. I've never owned one. I've just shot them. When I was at a SHOT Show this year, I specifically did not go to any lever gun booths whatsoever. It's like, please don't show me this.
I'm going to find somebody and get them to send you.
No, see that
some
you
lever
would
guns.
do that.
I would do that.
FFL would give me a call and be like, "Hey, we have this gun here for you," and I'd be like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a lever gun." I'd be like, "Send it back, please." No.
I'm. You know what? I'm
Go
emailing Mad Pig Customs right now.
I mean, I would make a video on it. It'd be fun. I don't know why I wouldn't. Josh comes in with the $5 and he says, I didn't know they made a real life 4570 from the hit video game Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, it's crazy. After that game got so popular, they were like, you know, we should actually do this. This sounds like a great idea. The engineers looked into it, it checked out, and they made it happen. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like Star Trek predicting future technology. It's basically exactly like that. All right, moving on to 243 versus 22-250. Now, I just got to shoot the LaRue Sieta in 22-250, and that is a that one there's about $3,500. $3,500 for that bolt gun. And it's LaRue, it's very nice, great trigger, feels nice, I guess. I'm not much of a bolt gun guy, but 22-250 shot really nice. It's a very soft shooting caliber, very, very hot. So you're going to burn barrels on that. What's your thoughts on it, Gary?
Both of these are barrel burners. So this is one of those times where, because I don't have experience in it, I think honestly a better matchup would have been 243 against 6 Creed, because I think 6 Creed is the only decent Creed.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting next.
But I haven't gotten a chance to play with it, so this is the matchup that we're going with. I don't have much experience with 22-250, but I do
really
know
fast,
that
really small bullets.
I do know that when my daughter starts hunting, she's probably going to be rocking a 243 just because there's no recoil there, and it'll handle any of the things that I trust her to shoot.
243 is not like a weak anemic caliber either.
It'll kill a deer. It might kill a bear. I don't know about that, but it'll definitely put a hurting on some coyotes, and that's all that she cares about. So
if I was shooting like extreme distances, like a PRS style shooter, I think I would probably go with 22-250. But like general purpose application outside of like that super precise roll, probably a 243. So maybe I'm with you on that.
I think even then, I think the 243 is gonna handle the wind better than the 22 calibers. The 22 calibers just don't have enough mass behind them.
Well, it's the BC and sectional density gets so high on those. 250. I'm actually looking up the BC on those right now.
Okay. I suppose if you hand load a 22-250 with an 88 grain bullet, we might be talking something there.
Well, because I think
cool.
they have a 90. I think they have a 90 grain projectile now. Those, so you can get like a pretty heavy. Can I look up? I just want to look up.
I'm still saying 243, but my mind's a burning now. That sounds cool.
240. I mean 20. That's what 22-250 is. It's supposed to just be super hot with a very small diameter bullet, very low recoil, and be insanely flat. So like 600, 700, 800 yards, very little wind, very little drop compared to other cartridges. Very easy to hit targets. Why is it not pulling up here though? Wonder if it's just not trying to find the longer bullets for it, but I don't know if it's worth it. So should we put it up to the chat, or are we going to go with 6mm?
I'm seeing 243s.
I'm seeing 243. Lots of them up, which I'm fine with. Because I think 22-250 is kind of just a target caliber. All right.
Or coyotes, but close enough to targets, or groundhogs. So
now
either way,
I think this one here we are going to just straight up disagree on, because of course I just finished recording a video for the 6.5 Creed out to 1220. Off of my 14.5-inch variation, but it is of course 260 versus 6.5 Creed. So
that one right there is 260. 260 is based off of the 308 case. And, okay, so the difference between 260 and 6.5 Creed, when 6.5 Creedmoor was initially produced, the barrels, the 6.5 millimeter barrels were they had a really slow twist rate. 6.5 Creed introduced longer, heavier bullets that required a much faster twist rate.
Right.
These two right here, these two bullets right here are 143 ELDMs. Or no, not ELDMs. These are 143 Sierra Match Kings. These are the same bullets that you'll get in 6.5 Creedmoor, and there's more case capacity. So they're about 2%. They have about 2% more power.
2%.
They use a more. They have about 2% more power, and they use a more common case as opposed to the 30 TC or whatever the heck 6.5 Creedmoor uses.
Now, while I agree with that, and that might be unfortunate for the 260, the problem is that the chat is at 100% 6.5 Creedmoor right now. And it's also because it's easier to find. There's more barrels chambered in it. It is just harder to find, right? And even if it is 2% better, cartridge to cartridge, I think it's going to be a really hard sell for people to swap off of all of the 6.5 Creedmoor logistics that are around there, right? It is a great matchup because I do think if you had identical setups, one in 260, one in 6.5 Creedmoor, hand loading both, I think that you're going to get a little bit more, just a little bit more out of the 260. But unfortunately, the weight of the world is behind 6.5 Creedmoor, and as we see more and more of these, big companies come out with their 6.5 Creedmoor gas guns, all chasing government dollars. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse for the 260, unfortunately.
I mean, you're right. Also, I hopped on AmmoSeek and I took a look at the price difference between 143 260 and 143 6.5 Creedmoor, and now I'm sad, but it's like $1 difference.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, as Julian says, Creedmoor here is the same cost as 308. If not cheaper, which is the same thing in my area as well. Afterpain says 2% is within the margin of error. It can be for sure. Julian up in Alaska, he says 6.5 don't care. That's kind of why I like it. The Army uses 6.5 Creedmoor. That means it's better. No, that means it's cheaper. Not that it's better.
That means that whoever is producing 6.5 Creedmoor did a little to get
it. But I mean, you ended up with 15% of the vote, so
I'm not entirely sure that 15% wasn't me.
Right, just clicking on it on multiple screens, multiple accounts. All right, so 6.5 Creed moves on, but I think 260 Remington is going to be a crazy caliber in the losers bracket. Andrew Vachon comes in and he says, "What did I miss for 199?" Well, for 199, you missed the Caliber Showdown. So this is basically a tournament for those of you who are just turning in. This is a tournament of the all the calibers, or not all the calibers, but 32 of the top calibers, let's say, in a double elimination tournament. So, of course, the calibers go up against each other, starting out like for like, and then the losers get pushed down to the losers bracket, and then the winners move on to the eventual quarters, semis, and, of course, the final later on. Now, this might end up being a two-part stream, as we are 35 minutes in. And let me pull that back up again real fast. We are approximately 12% done. 35 minutes in. So, but this will be good for people to come in later on and watch, so I don't have a problem being here. Next up, we have two oddballs. Well, not two oddballs. One of them's kind of an oddball. It's the 6.8 Western versus 270. Now, I remember looking at some videos on 6.8 Western, and it's basically just rebranded, updated, and improved 270 short, right?
No, actually, right? It's the same. It's the same thing. It's just it's like you take a 270 and you sprinkle a little Creedmoor on it, and you get a 6.8.
Well, right, but it has a slightly different shoulder, right? That's the only difference, really.
Slightly different shoulder, but so the 6.8 forced 270 manufacturers to modernize the 270, and now the 270 exists, and it's better. It's better than it was before.
So why is 270 on this list then? It's too close, and 6.8 Western is just better. Now, what's the price difference on 6.8 Western versus 270?
Oh, 270 is way cheaper. 270 is way cheaper.
Let's see. I'm just curious real fast. I wish AmmoSeek's website was better, but I can't really complain.
It's 6.8. Like 6.8 is actually on the verge of dying out, much in the vein of 6.8 SPC. So
the bolts are harder to find. Well,
270
for 6.8, we have about $191 is when you start getting into your more match loads. $191. Now 270 on the other hand. 270, well, you get soft points at 82 cents a round. So, yeah, there's a big price difference between 270 and 6.8 Western. So, 270, no opinion on deer rounds. 270 is far superior just because of availability. Very true. Okay, foreskin. Yeah, Tev is 6.8 Western. Exactly. So I think the chat's already going. It's 270 here.
Yeah, definitely 270. This next one's gonna rustle some jimmies.
So I have experience with 300 Win Mag. 300 Win Mag was the first bolt action rifle that I bought in a Remington 783, and man, was that thing awful to shoot. It was like a 6-pound rifle that chambered in 300 Win Mag with like a mediocre trigger, terrible stock, really, really thin profile barrel, and it killed like 6 budget optics that I put on that thing.
I have got a CVA Cascade in 7 Mag, and that thing is exactly the opposite of what you're talking about. I love that thing so much.
Yeah.
It is insanely accurate. The trigger is fantastic. The only problem that I have with that rifle is nobody makes a stock for it, so I just have to run the standard stock. But oh man, I love 7 Mag. But you know, honestly, I think 7 PRC is going to take out 7 Mag. Like the shoulder, the belt on the case is just stupid. So I think 7 Mag and 300 Mag are probably going to go away for 300 PRC and 7 PRC.
Right, exactly. You have the new PRC cartridges that are coming out that are just slightly better, but better.
Yeah, but I'm going 7 Mag. 7 Mag all the way. 7 Mag supremacy. I am a 7 simp.
Hey, I like the smaller diameter cartridges as well. So I mean, 300 Win Mag is basically like, how fast can I get this 30 caliber bullet going, right?
That is 300 rum.
Well, right. That's slightly different. Because 300 Win Mag, you can go to any store and pick up 300 Win Mag, you know, because it's like, it'll take down anything in North America, that's for sure.
Put a hurting on most things in the world.
I'm actually curious. I think that we're going to go with 7 Mag anyways, but I'm curious what the chat says, because probably I would assume more people have experience with 300 Win Mag versus 7mm mag. So I am actually curious as to what you guys think about that. Belted mags are over 100 years old. Yep. 300 Win Mag is king. The Afterpain says bullet availability for 300 Win Chad, though. Yeah, exactly. 30 caliber bullets. 30 caliber bullets are everywhere, and they are extremely cheap. So, I mean, you can do 7mm
bullets and 28 caliber bullets are also everywhere and extremely cheap.
So,
it goes
can I get
30 cal on top,
8?
And number 2 is 7. So,
okay, so can I get a 85 grain 7 mag projectile?
Yes.
Because I can with 30 caliber. You can do stupid things with 30 caliber.
Yes, you absolutely can. You can do the same. You can do the only difference is you can't get a 220 grain 7mm projectile.
Oh, okay. That's
where 300 wins. But you can get a 185 and do really good for yourself. So,
well, yeah. Well, the thing about having a smaller diameter bullet is to get the length, you don't need as much weight. So you don't need to be pushing a 220 grain projectile to get that BC that you want. And you're pushing a heavy projectile extremely fast, and it's of course more efficient as well. So no, I'm on your side with this. I'm just pushing back. Now the chat is not on either of our sides. They chose 300 Win Mag. 70%.
Well, the chat is wrong. The chat is a bunch of degenerates, and they're wrong.
Well, remember, they only get a say if we disagree, and we technically agree on this. Even though I love 300 Win Mag, I shot it. I actually,
oh no, I also
enjoyed shooting it.
I also like 300
Richard,
Win Mag. I just think 7 is better.
Yeah, Richard says, what is the price difference per round? Probably a lot, because back in the day, I used to get 300 Win Mag for $1 a round back in the day. I should probably just keep ammo seek up at this point.
So in my show notes here for 300 Win Mag, I put 30-06 went to the gym.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's 30-06 on trend. Let's see. 300 Win. Wow, there are so many. There it is. If you type in 300W, that like 20 cartridges pop up.
I'm gonna go grab a jacket. I'll be right back.
No, you're good. So yeah, 300 Win Mag right now is sitting at just over $1 a round, so about $1.11, just for really basic ammo. And then 7 Mag. Why is that not popping up? 7 Remington Mag, is that the one? No way, that's cheaper. Technically, you can get SNB right now for 90 cents a round. So actually, 7mm mag is cheaper. Yeah, it is cheaper. It's cheaper than 300 Win Mag, and it's slightly more ballistically efficient. And it's probably a little bit nicer to shoot as well, because 300 Win Mag is not very forgiving, let's say. So, 300 Win Mag does sound cooler, though, so that is important. Very important. Yeah, I was not aware, but 7mm mag is actually a little bit cheaper. Good to know. By about 20 cents a round right now. All right,
wow.
Gary
That's
is
a lot more
back.
than I thought.
Yeah, it's like 90 cents a round, whereas 300 Win Mag is sitting at like $1.10, $1.11. So
that's I was expecting them to be roughly the same. So
yeah. Well, it's just there's one S&B load that's 20 cents cheaper, of course.
Gotcha.
Important. Now, 338 Federal, which
there
is
will be
like
not a hint of bias here. This is 708. That one right there, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. That one right there is 708. 708 is amazing. 708 is my favorite caliber. 708 is the best. 708 is 308 done right. I'm on 708.
Well, that's a little biased, but no, that's your semi-auto 708, right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. That one, that's a lot. That gun is a lot. I love that thing.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a very cool caliber. So if we bring this back up real fast, there it is. So essentially 338 Federal, if I'm not mistaken, is instead of like 308 going to the gym, 308 stayed home and ate cake all day, and now is very fat and turned into 338 Federal.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so we've got the 8.6 Blackout, right? Which they took a 6.5 Creedmoor, and then they necked it out to basically 9mm. 338 is the same thing.
Well, that's what Red Right Hand just came in and said. 338 Federal, the OG suppressed rifle round. Yeah, no, it used to be a lot more popular too. You can get some stupid heavy bullets out of it.
I've shot it once, but I mean, honestly, 7 is better. 338 is very interesting. It puts out a surprising amount of power. We're talking like 2,500 feet per second out of a 20-inch barrel with a 260 grain bullet. Like, it's cooking. It's fantastic.
It's got a lot of energy for sure. Now, a 7mm is kind of the opposite of that, right? Because instead of just necking it up to a bigger bullet, we've taken it down to 7mm, which is kind of like a hybrid. It's not quite as far down as 6.5 Creedmoor, using a 7mm projectile, slightly lighter recoil, slightly flatter shooting, not quite as much of a barrel burner, not quite as common for sure. So I mean, I like 7mm. I have a video on my channel on 7mm actually. It's in an old Mossberg MVP. It's a fantastic little rifle.
So as I said, so I shoot 150s, 162s. You can get them all the way down to 120s. I mean, why? The 150s are so good, and they're actually available. The most common chambering that I've been able to find is the Hornady Precision Hunter, whatever.
Yeah, yep, that's what
chambered in 150s, and those are so good. They're amazingly accurate.
Out of curiosity, what barrel do you have in there?
So I have a Draco's barrel that's owned by Falcor. Used to be owned by Falcor. They're out of business now.
What's it shoot with the 150s?
About an inch and a quarter over 2 magazines.
Okay, that's not bad.
So yeah, 40
Good
rounds.
shot dispersion.
Over 40 rounds. Yeah, it'll do about an inch and a quarter.
Was that like a super heavy profile on there?
It is super heavy, but it's not super heavy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So
Well,
the
I mean,
barrel
like-
itself, the barrel itself is a super heavy profile, but the barrel. Okay, so they take a barrel, right, and then they
Mhm.
mill it down, and then they cover it with this like copper infused polymer, or whatever, to suck the heat out of the barrel, and that's what's making it. That's what makes it a super heavy profile, but it's not actually that heavy.
No, it just doesn't weigh like a heavy barrel would. Gotcha.
No, and it sucks out heat amazingly quickly. It's super
Mm.
rigid. There's like no. I don't have the cold bore phenomenon at all.
What's
From the first round to the last.
what was the cost on that barrel?
$4 something.
Okay, that's
got
not
it.
bad. That's not
I got it 60% off.
There you go, because they were going out of business.
Yep.
Their loss, your gain. So, 338 Federal. If I was going to shoot one, it would be 7mm because it's kind of a general purpose round. 308 slightly better, other than bullet availability and terminal performance. But for shooting, I would take 7mm. So, are we in agreement?
I'm also saying 708.
That's going to be controversial. I think the chat was against us there as well. All right.
Probably.
5.7 by 28 versus 22 TCM. I am fairly certain that the chat loves 5.7 by 28 because it's one of those things that people talk about online, and there's all sorts of like lore and like old wives' tale about how effective it is and whatnot. I'm not actually sure
That's a 22
all that
TCM.
great. Pull that guy up there. It's the short, fat guy. So why don't you explain 22 TCM for a second?
Okay, so 22 TCM is it's a 5.56 case. It's been chopped and necked down. I think it's 45 ACP cartridge overall length. Not entirely sure. They stick a 40 grain 22 caliber bullet in it, and it shoots like 2,700-ish feet per second. Somebody can check me on that. But we're not talking pistols. We're talking rifles. And in a rifle, it's fantastic. And in a rifle, I've not heard great things about 5.7. So I'm going 22 TCM because I haven't heard great things about 5.7. I've heard it's like kind of anemic in the civilian market, and I haven't gotten a chance to shoot it. And I know you have. So
now 22 TCM, I've shot it in handguns. So I've shot it in a couple 1911s, 2011 style handguns. Let's say at a couple gun shows that I've been to, and it's a very interesting recoil impulse because it's blasty. Out of a 5-inch barrel, it throws a huge fireball. Even in the daytime, it is a very noticeable huge fireball. The recoil is very fast, but there's not much to it. The slide weight does not need to be as heavy as some other calibers out there. So it's a very interesting caliber. It's kind of fun to shoot. I would say it overall recoils less than 9mm. It's very, very fast. Very, very fast. My thing about 5.7 though is 5.7 is much more proven in terms of how long it's been used and how many different guns that it's been used. And as someone brought up earlier, I believe it was Cold Dead Hand. Where'd he go? Cold Dead Hand, which is unironically my favorite commenter of all time. He just has this really dry, sarcastic attitude all the time, which is fantastic. For guns and ammunition availability, 5.7. So I'm actually on 5.7 team, not because it's particularly good, but because I know that you can get more guns in it. And the guns that you can get 5.7 in are kind of like the dedicated PDW type stuff where I think these cartridges perform really well. if you're going to hand me either of these things in a 16-inch barrel or longer, I mean, I would just go with any other caliber at that point. But yeah, Red Right Hand says they're both just spicy 22s. They are spicy 22s, but they can make sense in that really small, compact gun application. The P90 is great because you get great capacity out of a small package as well, right? You get 50 rounds in there. The MP7, if H&K would ever sell it to the civilian market, 40 round capacity. Whenever PSA brings out their poor MP7 clone, you know, you get the 40 round stick mags for that. Now, maybe if 22 TCM got more support and had better bullet availability, because that's another thing. 5.7 you can get special bullets for. No, maybe not in the US, but in certain places you can get special bullets. So I'm going to lean towards 5.7. So are we going to put it up to a poll?
I think TCM is cheaper, but 5.7 is more widely available. I'm ambivalent would be the best way to put it. Okay. But yeah, I think I can go 5.7 on this one.
Well, I'm just going to put it in there. So we're going 5.7. That's what we've decided. Which will be a hilarious matchup for 7mm08. Woo. See, the second round matchups are just going to be absolutely nuts. Yeah, Richard said 22 TCM ammo is only available from Arms Corps. Yeah, I think they are. Are they the only ones importing it right now, or are they making it?
They make it. So Arms Corps is the only one that makes it, and they're also the only one that make the guns for it. So like you can get there's a 22 TCM 9R, which as I said, I think the cartridge overall length on the 22 TCM is 45 ACP ish. The 9R is 9mm, so you can get a 9mm conversion or a 22 TCM 9R conversion for like a Glock 19. But Arms Corps is the only people that make it, or Rock Island Armory is the only people that import it or whatever. And I haven't seen them in years, so I have all this 22 TCM and nowhere to put it. I just got to shoot it one at a time in a bolt gun.
Well, yeah, you got to get a gun for it, but you can't even get them right now, can you?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Cody says that the 5.7 PDW still dies in a fight with 5.56 SBRs for sure. Yeah, no. If you're giving me a fighting gun, like, and I have to take a shorter gun, like it's going to be 5.56. There's no doubt about it.
Blackout.
It's going to be, well, I would take an 11.5, 5.56. That's be kind of like my go-to for urban stuff. I
mean, I would think a 9-inch 300 Blackout would probably.
It would be all right, but then I'm dealing with 30 caliber, more recoil, ammo's a little bit heavier because at that point we're going supersonic, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we're going supersonic, so we have more recoil, ammo's heavier, and it's not going to be as flat shooting out to say 200 or 300 yards. Because you got to remember, urban. If you walk out to a street and you're looking down a street, you might have a 2 or 3 or 400 yard sight line at that point. Which one of those guns would I rather take the shot with? It's going to be 5.56.
12.5 308.
Yes, but that's even worse because then your ammo considerations are out the window. Your recoil considerations. It's noisy. They don't suppress well. Whew. Focus says I'm out of focus. I can't be out of focus. My focus is on manual. So the camera can literally not change focus. It's not possible. Yeah, short barrel AR in X39, 7.62 by 39. The problem is 7.62 by 39 ARs are not that reliable. And like the worst thing possible is to have a bolt break when you need it the most, right? They now offer lubricant. Richard comes in. He says, Arms Corps 22 TCM and 9R ammo is not safe. I will send you a pic in Discord real quick. They know there's a problem. That's why they now offer lubricated ammo. I have not heard anything about that.
What? I'm definitely not sitting on like 1,200 rounds of it. What?
I mean, you know, just give it to your friends to shoot. Andrew Vachon for $1.99. Thank you, sir. He says urban does not equal CQB. Exactly. Because, like, I live in a tiny, tiny little town, but I live in South Dakota. So if I take 10 steps out my door, I can see a mile. Right? So, like, sure, I'm in a, urban environment, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's close quarters. Wow, illustrious caveman, from his driveway to the end of his street is 637 yards. Yeah. 12.5-inch 6.5 Grendel. Yes, that is a more ballistically capable cartridge, and it's even more terminally effective, especially at those slightly extended distances, say 200-300 yards.
It's just way more expensive to shoot.
Yeah, it's way more expensive. You got more recoil, and you kind of have the same issue as 7.62 by 39 of your magazine considerations and your bolt breakages. So it's another thing to be careful with. Julian is an absolute monster, and he has a 10.5-inch CAC with 3 extra Ks for some reason, 308, and the recoil is nearly absent. You can actually use it like a pistol. Fits in my backpack with a law folder and is excellent grouse protection. Man, that is like, hey, I don't want anybody to be shooting around me ever.
You should put a
10.5 inches.
You should put a 3-chamber tank brake on there just to.
I'm actually curious. Do you suppress it, or do you use it with like a blast forwarding device, or just a flash hider? Because I'm imagining you don't use it with a brake, unless you are that sort of mad lad. But what are we on? We're moving on. 22 mag versus 6.5 PRC. All right, so 6.5.
I'll be honest here. This matchup is not the best.
No, it's about them, but there had to be some oddball out. So 22 mag is kind of like just a slightly better 22 long rifle in terms of like, case capacity and ballistics and whatnot. But the cases can have reliability issues, especially in semi-automatics. There are kind of some cool guns like the Caltech PMR or CMR. Was those the ones in 22 where you get like 30 rounds in a magazine or something like that?
Yeah, I'm honestly, I really like 22 mag. I have an heirloom gun chambered in 22 that was rimmed out to 22 mag. I really like it. It's fantastic. It's amazing. And I haven't seen any sort of reliability problems. I've actually found that 22 mag is much, much more reliable than 22 LR. So in the 22 mag that out of a Bear Creek Arsenal upper, the problem with that was not the upper. It was actually the ammo. Some of the ammo, when it wouldn't feed properly, maybe it was a magazine issue, but the cases just straight up bend because they're just like really, really thin-walled brass. So that's where I've heard most of the issues is actually cases deforming. But in a bolt gun, probably not as much of an issue. 22 mag is the guy 5.7 is told not to worry about. You know
you
what?
Have that backwards.
That's a better...
You have that backwards.
No, 22 mag is the guy 5.7 is told not to worry about. I agree. 5.7 is the... No, I agree. 22 mag is the better 5.7.
No, that's nonsense. That's silly talk. That's an old wives' tale. But talking about 6.5 PRC, that's kind of like just a little bit hotter 6.5 Creedmoor. My brother actually also has a 6.5 PRC. Beautiful shooter. We actually took that rifle out to 1,000 yards. It's incredibly capable. It's maybe not my favorite overall cartridge, but I mean, it's not too hot either where it's miserable to shoot. The ammo can be a little bit harder to find, $30, $40, $50 a box at times, but very ballistically capable and fairly fun to shoot as well. Do you have any thoughts on 6.5 PRC?
I've never gotten a chance to play with it. I know you did though, so that's why it's on there.
Yeah, it's a fun cartridge.
I really like 22 mag, and I'm team 22 mag on this one, just because out of a longer barrel, out of an 18-inch or longer barrel, 22 Magnum does a really good job at most things, and you can fit an entire 50 rounds in your pocket.
Yeah. So, are you saying like it's a better bug out?
I mean,
like
yeah.
22 mag versus 22 long rifle for a bug out application. Do you take the extra size and weight? Or 22 long rifle?
With my gun, yeah.
I got to log into my own account to vote because I don't want to lose this poll. This would be the only poll that I lose. Unbelievable.
No, you're not gonna lose this one.
Because I would log into my account to make sure. Put my thumbs on the scale. It's closing up. 70-30, yeah. So I think we're good. 6.5 PRC.
Probably.
Poll, please. I put up a poll. 6634. It's not too close. So I guess we can talk about the next caliber. So 7.60 by 39 versus 350 Legend. Now I have some, I've actually been meaning to shoot this stuff for a long time. I've shot some of it, but I have a bunch of this. I have a couple hundred rounds of this. This is 7.62 by 39, 220 grain subsonic ammo from Callaway Ballistics. So this stuff I need to actually get out and use. I'm going to do a whole video using only 7.60 by 39 subsonic ammunition.
Oh, that sounds fun.
If it will run. So, but I kind of like 7.62 by 39 more than 350 Legend just for availability, even though it's gotten a lot worse lately. Obviously, in an AK, it's better. I don't like X39 that much in an AR. I've just had too many problems with it over the years trying to get it to run right, even though I kind of did it in like one specific gun. Whenever I tried to build out like 5 more of them, I could never get them to run. So I'm pretty sure I would go 7.60 by 39.
So my favorite loading in the X39 is the 154 grain soft points. And I can't find them anymore, and that sucks, but those things are fantastically accurate. But it's worth noting that a 350 Legend is the modern day 30 carbine. So I think
it's a modern day variation of an inferior cartridge from 50 years ago.
I wouldn't say that it's inferior. The 30 carbine was a fantastic intermediate cartridge.
It was kind of one of the early on intermediate cartridges too.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll put a thumping on a lot of things. I'm just saying,
it is probably one of the best straight wall cartridges.
I would agree that it's definitely if you live in a straight wall state and you're trying to hunt, 350 Legend is probably the way to go.
Right.
But if you don't live in a straight wall state and you're not trying to hunt, 350 Legend is not bad, honestly. So
now, you know what might be funny is the best thing that 350 Legend ever does is gives us 6 max like 5 years from now or something like that. And then people will be like, 350 Legend, what was that? It's like, oh yeah, that's the parent case for 6 max. Duh. But no, I think if we put this to a vote, I think it's going X39. That's all I'm seeing in the chat is X39.
I'm seeing a lot of 350. This is definitely going to the chat.
Okay, I'm ending that poll. 6.5 PRC did win. 60-40 though, so it was pretty close. And we'll put this one up as well. This is, what did I say? 350 Legend versus the 7.62 by 39. All right, so 350 Legend only wins if you actually live in a straight wall state. Kind of agree. Afterpain says X39, I refuse to elaborate. Jeffrey says, niet, rifle is okay. I agree. Red Right Hand says X39 wins all day. I agree.
Okay,
Tyler says X39 is the ammo most child soldiers use. Pretty strong endorsement. Yeah, they love it.
How about this? 350 Legend is better in an AR because the bolt face isn't going to break on you. But if we're not talking about just an AR,
if we were talking about ARs, you might have a point. But even then, well, actually, you might still have a point because I hate running 7.62 by 39 in a traditional AR. There are AR hybrids like the CMMGs or PSA made one as well that run better, but yeah. Just some Space Cowboy says, but can you get Steel Core / AP 350 Legend? Probably not.
So if 350 Legend uses a 9mm bullet, I know that there are people that are developing open source armor penetrating 9mm. So yes, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm actually curious what 350 Legend is sitting at right now.
I'm on Team X39, so
350 Legend is only 57 cents around right now. So, and 7.62 by 39 is probably around the same. And no, it's at 35 right now. So there is still a significant price difference between 7.60 by 39 and 350, even though it's not as far as I thought. Yeah. C Byers comes in and he says 6 max is probably king. once it comes out and gets refined. Yeah, like 6 years from now, it might be good. It might be good.
Hey, you want to explain what the problem is with the 7.62 by 39 bolt face?
Yeah, I don't have one around here. But essentially what you have to do is to get a much thicker case, the X39 case, into a 5.56 bolt face, is you have to take out a lot of the material. And I actually have a 6.5 Grendel here. So a 6.5 Grendel, actually, is that the right one? Yeah, no, that's 6.5 Grendel. A 6.5 Grendel has a thicker case than 5.56. So to get this to fit into a 5.56 bolt, you have to remove a lot of the material, right? So you have to take a smaller hole and make it bigger. As we all know, when it gets bigger, it gets worse because it has a lot less strength. So the first thing that breaks is the extractor. I think I've broken 5 or 6 7.62 by 39 extractors. There's two types, type 1, type 2. They have different bolt face depths. One is at 0.125 and one is at 0.136. Don't ask me why. But you can't mix and match either. That's a bad idea. So they're just weaker. There's less material there. So your extractor is weaker. Your bolt face is weaker. Your bolt lugs are weaker. Everything is weaker. So if something, if something was going to break on there, it's probably going to be your extractor. It might last 20 rounds. It might last 2,000 rounds. But on an AR bolt, it is just not ideal. If you look at an AK bolt, there is a ton of material there. So, and it's only a 2-lug design, so there's a ton of support. It's designed for that cartridge, right? Whereas an AR-15 is not. So you have to modify the bolt to get it to work, and it just ends up not working as well.
And this is the case for everything based on the 7.62 by 39 cartridge, which is the 6 Arc, the 50 Beowulf, the 6.5 Grendel. I have a list here. The 6 PPC, which is a really good bench rest cartridge. Some of these are actually like the most accurate rounds inside of 300 yards. But yeah, like it's not designed to work well in an AR.
Right. You're welcome, sir. Now, Andrew comes in with the 199. Thank you, sir. He says, when it gets bigger, it gets worse. Focus 2024. Yep, that's my slogan. Now, Illustrious Caveman comes in and he says, same with 6mm arc, and people hug those nuts. So the difference with 7.62 by 39 versus 6 arc and 6.5 Grendel is that 6 arc and 6.5 Grendel are precision loads, usually, so you're not shooting 2,000 rounds through them, right? They're usually much lower rates of fire and much lower volumes of fire. So sure, your 6 arc might break before a 5.56 bolt does, but your 5.56 is not pushing out to 12 and 1,300 yards. So it is a trade-off there. I'm not saying it's perfect by any means, but if you're only putting 200 rounds through your 6 arc, for your PRS match or whatnot, versus trying to put like 2,000 or 3,000 rounds or 10,000 rounds through 7.60 by 39, yeah, it's just not going to work as well. Yeah, and 6 Max is based off of 350 brass. Why is it based off of 350 brass? It's so that you can get a little bit longer of a case while still utilizing a 5.56 bolt face, meaning that you get more case capacity. So you actually end up just underneath what you can get out of like 6 arc or 6.5 Grendel. Yeah, 6 arc also isn't loaded in steel case, which is also very true. So it extracts a little bit nicer. Now 6 arc still has problems. Like you have to tune it. Like when I'm talking about different systems and shooting it suppressed, it needs to be tuned. The magazines need to be done well. So there are still a lot of things that can go wrong with that. 7.62 by 39 at 80%. That's kind of where I was thinking it was going to go.
Agreed.
So let's go ahead and pull that back up. Now we are on the bottom 2, finally, almost through the first round. All right.
It's only been an hour.
just an hour. All right. 6.5 300 versus 50 Beowulf. Now this is 2 very different interpretations of the same thing. How fast can we move a projectile? One of them is limited by the AR-15, and one of them is limited by the Magnum 300 Weatherby case. So, damn, I don't want to shoot either of these. These both suck.
So I have both of these. The 6.5 300 is ridiculous.
I can imagine.
The 6.5 300 somehow matches the ballistics of a 416 Barrett. I don't know how it does it, but it takes a 140 grain bullet and matches the ballistics of a 416 Barrett. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, those, the BC, I'm going to say this probably wrong. The BC of my 147 grain ELDMs, the 6.5 projectiles, is 0.697, which is super high. So the question there is just how much powder can you get behind it? The 6.5 300 simply says yes. Because what are those things coming out of the muzzle at?
Oh, like 30 something.
Yeah.
3850, somewhere around there. It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
I mean, they're both absolutely hilarious. It's just, just
50
funny.
Beowulf is like, has a ton of energy. It's like, for an AR-15 anyways, it's like 2,300 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle with 50 Beowulf. Miserable to shoot. 10-round capacity. Not particularly good at distance. Incredibly expensive. Yeah. I'm actually curious what the chat says. So we're going to... Did we already end that poll? We need to end that poll. Yeah. 7.60 by 39 cleared in that. But I'm actually interested because I wouldn't want to shoot either.
Okay, I will say this. The 6.5 300 bullets are like $7 a round, $8 a round.
What's 50 at? 50 Beowulf at?
Man, I haven't checked since I bought it, and I bought it before the pandemic. So
let's see. Go away, dude. You gotta stop doing that. The pop-ups on this website are miserable. 50 Beowulf, 12.7 by 42, baby. It's only $130. Only $130 a round.
I'm going 50 Beowulf just because it's cheaper to shoot.
For a 350 grain plated round shoulder.
I think these ones are not not that heavy. I want
Richard comes in and he said, "Sorry, go ahead."
I was gonna say these guys are like, I want to say they're like 220s or something like that. Mm-hmm. So they've got like, they got some gas behind them too.
The Beowulf Ballistics. I am curious what they do. Richard Cranium says the third option for poll, neither. Yes, that's the one I would go with. 50 Beowulf was designed to kill engine blocks to stop cars, but they forgot shooting the driver stops the car more effectively, LMAO. Yes, exactly. Yeah, shoot the driver. That's the fastest way to stop the car.
458 SOCOM isn't on here because I haven't shot it. I know it's going to piss people off. 50 BMG isn't on here because I haven't shot it either.
Bushmaster, 458 SOCOM, 450 Bushmaster, 458 SOCOM, and then 50 Beowulf, right?
Yeah,
those are the three like big bores. Yeah. Yeah, typical muzzle energy is around 23 to 2,600 foot-pounds. So it's basically like achieving 308 energy with a brick. Basically the design philosophy behind it. So I'm sure it gets great penetration. I'm sure there's an application for like a small frame 50 Beowulf as a Kodiak Bear defense gun.
So my mom wants to go with me up to oh shoot, what the heck is it called? I don't remember the name.
The place? The thing?
Oh shit.
The area?
Oh, she wants to go up
All right.
to up the North Pole. And sorry, my wife is just yelling at me. She wants to go with me up to the North Pole, and there's like polar bears and stuff up there. So it's like, if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna bring a 12.5 50 Bayo with me.
That'd be cool. Yeah, if we had put in 2 of those calibers, it would have made a little bit more sense for sure. All right. So, but 50 Beowulf looks like it's got the slight edge, 58.42. It's been up, so I think we got to give it to 50 Beowulf, right? I don't know why, but yeah, I think we're just going to do that just for fun. We'll give it to 50 Beowulf. Now, here's a controversial one. Here's a controversial one. 308 versus 277 Fury. What are your thoughts on this? because
I want to see what the chat says. I want to see what the chat says.
I know that's what I'm interested in as well. Is what are these guys actually going to choose? But the thing you got to remember about 277 Fury versus 68 by 51 is that which one's the military designation? 68 by 51, right?
I don't remember.
Whichever one is the military designation with the bimetal case, the velocity out of that with a 135 grain projectile is 3,000 feet per second. So pretty hot for a 308-ish. However, when you go back to the brass casing, that drops down to 2750 with a 135. So velocity-wise, it's very similar to a 308 without that bimetal case. Now, with that bimetal case comes 80,000 psi, and of course, the bullets themselves are slightly higher ballistically with their ballistic coefficient, so they're slightly more efficient. But yeah, with slightly lower recoil as well, slightly lower recoil. But without that bimetal case, it's basically like a 308, but a little bit smaller. So it's not quite as advanced as you might think without that bimetal case that's very expensive. So now I'm pretty sure that I'm just looking at the chat, and two-part casings are homosexual. Yes, agreed. 27 cheap for protection, 277, 308, 308, 308, 308, 308. There is so I'm just curious here. So
I've been
I think it's going to
the,
be like 90% 308.
I've been trying to put the poll in the scores column here. So let's put it to a poll just because I want to see how much 308 beats out the 277 Sig. And I'm about to go get yelled at, so I'm going to turn off my camera, and I will be right back.
That's fine. Go for it. Go for it. All right. So we have the 308 versus nope. I can't spell. I'm retarded. Sorry. Give it 1 second. 1 second. You have to remember that I was homeschooled, so I don't actually know how to spell things. Nope, I'm not even doing it right there. All right. Let's see here. 0.308. So if I had to build out a rifle in one of these, it would not be in 277. There we go. I spelled it right this time. All right. There was a super chat that came in. Andrew Pashon for $4.99. Thank you very much, sir. He says, I've shot the XM250. It is awesome, but the pressure is insane. Got gassed out at the end of the belt. I vote 308 logistics matter. I agree. Yeah, no, 308 logistically, there's so much support behind it. Now, maybe 20 years in the future, 15 years in the future, something like that, 277 Sig could catch up. But again, there is so much weight behind 308. That is just kind of the de facto winner, I would say. 308, 277, due to the fact that it can go 3K out of a 9-inch barrel. But that's with a lighter projectile. So Bilal says, yeah, you can get 3,000 FPS out of a 9-inch barrel. But you got to remember, anytime you're cutting down the weight of the projectile, like you can get, crazy ballistics or crazy velocities out of a 308 as well if you throw in a 95 grain projectile, right? So it just kind of depends. Red Right Hand says 308. Of course, unfair matchup. Good old 308, 308, 308, 308, 308, yes. 277 Sig votes should earn bans. That's funny. Public bannings of 277 Sigs. Siggers keep moving. This is a 308 neighborhood. And you have so many options with 308. 308, 308, 308, 308. Yeah, it's all 308. 300 and 338 Norma, those are more specialized, aren't they? Aren't they a little bit more like distance and precision oriented? I mean, 277, it's got to be a versatile cartridge. It's got to do a little bit of everything.
I mean, looking if you hate your shoulder, I guess.
Oh, what, versus 277 or 300 or 338 Norma? Yeah,
both of those against 277. That sounds terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for a machine gun, yeah, 300 Norma can make a lot of sense in replacing like 50 BMG, right? Because 50 BMG is not particularly efficient, and 300 Norma you can do most of the same things for less size and weight plus more ammo. There you go. Beowulf says the Fab Impact stock to take off the steam of anything. I have seen. We kind of looked at those things for a little while, didn't we? Those Fab stocks that are
Oh no,
like a system that
that's something else.
recoil.
That's something else.
Oh, is that something else? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious though that the 308 just barely beat out the 277 Sig Fury, so it was close. It was close. Now, we're at an hour and 21 minutes in already. Should we try the losers bracket or should we keep going in the winners column? Because
I think you should put that one up to a poll.
Okay, let's try that.
Chat, if you want us to keep going, let us know.
Actually,
Say hi, chat. Yeah? You gonna say hi, chat? No?
I say hello.
You wanna go back inside? Okay.
There we go. Start poll. Pull us up. C. Byers says he votes winners bracket tonight. Well, see, that's the thing. If we complete the winners bracket, it doesn't quite make as much sense to go back and do the losers bracket later. So if we want to keep going tonight for longer, and then we'll just finish it up probably next week at some point, maybe. We should probably do the losers bracket, because otherwise going back afterwards doesn't make quite as much sense, if that makes sense. Continue with the winners matches. Winners matches kind of have it, which I'm fine with going through the winners matches. They're the winners, so right, they're the ones that people were a little bit more interested in. Do we have any great calibers in the losers bracket? Not really. They kind of all deserve to lose, other than 22 or 260 Rem versus 2250 would have been interesting. 6 arc, I like 6 arc. That was one that I lost. 280 Rem versus 7.60 by 54R. Yeah, there were some good ones in the losers bracket, but I agree. We'll go ahead and move on with the winners bracket tonight. Maybe we'll finish it. Maybe we'll finish the winners bracket tonight. Who knows? Because it might end up going a little bit faster. Because the further it goes, the more nonsense it will be. So as of right now, it's still 60% the winners matches. So if you guys want to see the losers first, you got to vote for it. Voting may not matter in our actual elections, but on the stream, they also don't matter as much. Kind of just up to the whims of whatever we decide to do. All right. Should we move on? Yeah, Chris comes in and he says 6 arc in the losers bracket is a mistake. I kind of agree. I kind of want to see 6 arc come back. But unfortunately, it lost to 6.5 Grendel, which is a great cartridge. But to be honest, though, it didn't matter because they were both going to lose to 223, right? /556. They were both going to lose. So it didn't really matter which one won between the two. All right, Gary, you back? You ready to go?
Yeah, I just had to do the daddy thing for a little bit there. Okay, so what are we doing? Are we doing the winners or the losers?
It's at 62% for the winners match. So I'm saying
All right.
we continue on with the winners match, which means that we need to finish the winners match tonight, which is probably going to take about 3 hours. Although what's nice at this point is we've already talked about all of the calibers, so maybe it'll move a little bit faster.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Round 2. We now have the venerable 30-06 versus 6.8 SPC.
30-06. 6.8 SPC doesn't belong in this list.
Well, it did win earlier. See, this is the thing. I kind of like 6.8 SPC. Like, if I had to use it in a AR-15. I
think it's better than X39, but...
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure better than X39 in an AR-15. And you can actually use it. Like you can use it up close, you can use it at distance. It's a pretty versatile cartridge. It's kind of in, again, that weird mid-range where it's not particularly great at anything. But 30-06 is so venerable. And 30-06 is looking like it's winning. So, okay. I'll allow it. 30-06 moves on into the quarterfinals. Next up, we have 223 versus 6'5 Grendel. And why is it 223, Gary?
Do we even need to discuss this?
I mean, not really. 6'5 Grendel out of like a bolt gun is like kind of nice. It can be good for hunting, good for distance.
223 is just too good.
Yeah. It's hard.
In the quarterfinals, though, we get to see 5.56 get eliminated, so that's nice.
Well, not in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Actually, dude, I don't see anything. I don't see anything that's going to touch it.
22
For
will
versatility.
Touch it.
Oh, you know what? You might actually be right, because if we disagree and the chat gets it, the chat might actually give it to 22 long rifle, which would make me sad. But that is your opportunity right there, 223. That's your only chance to lose is versus 22 long rifle. That's funny. How funny would that be?
Chat, we need to make 308 versus 223 the final.
Ooh. All right, 22 long rifle. Well, they are on opposite sides of the bracket too. So if they do meet, it's going to be at the very end in the grand final. 22 long rifle versus 45-70. I think this is kind of like what we ran into earlier, where it's like if you have to use one, like 22 long rifle is way more fun to shoot. It's way more ubiquitous. You can stock a lot more of it. 45-70 is expensive. It's effective, in that sort of short to mid range distance. Using it in a lever gun or whatnot, but I think most people, it's looking like Red Right Hand says 45-70, but everybody after him is saying 22 long rifle. So let's put this to a poll real fast. We'll put this to a poll.
I've never seen anybody frown shooting 22 LR, so.
Especially now that we have a lot of handguns that, for like the longest time, 22 long rifle handguns were only in like 10 round magazines. And in the last like 3 years, we've seen like no less than 10 22 long rifle dedicated handguns come out with quote unquote high capacity magazines or just higher standard capacity magazines.
But we're not talking about pistols, we're talking about rifles. This is rifles, remember?
Yeah. Oh, actually, maybe that does change it up a little bit. It's 22 rifles maybe aren't quite as much fun. Although I guess suppressed, they're still nice.
What? 1022 is like the most fun semi-auto ever.
Well, no. I've never been the biggest, maybe this is sacrilegious here, but I've never really been the biggest fan of like 22 long rifles.
You need to get a binary trigger and a 1022, and there you go. Or one of the Tippmann
just to fill up one
Gatling guns.
Suppressed 322 is a vibe. What the heck is 322, sir? Andrew Vachon for the 199. Thank you, sir. 22 long rifle conversion kits make it so much better. Yeah, I do have a 22 long rifle conversion kit. I haven't shot it in years, but I do have it. Everybody has a 22 long rifle. Alaskan Guides and John Wayne wannabes have 45-70. Yeah, 45-70 is a little cringe. It's kind of like it's a Western LARPing caliber, basically. There are so many better modern calibers that do the things that you actually want them to do. Okay, so 22 long rifle wins that easy. I think it's at 76% right now. Oh, Sig 322. Yes, I understand. Yeah, no, when that came out, I remember watching some launch videos on the Sig 322, and 320 issues aside, the 322 hopefully doesn't have the same issues. 243 versus 6.5 Creed, and why is it the need for Creed?
I mean, I'm agreeing with you that it's a 6.5 Creedmoor, but it pains me to say it. So
yeah, it's not that 243 is bad. But 243 is a long action versus a short action, right?
No, it's the same thing.
Oh, they're both short action?
Yeah.
Okay. 6.5 Creed meme. Yeah, Sneedmore. There's so many different names for it. So no, I'm going 6.5 Creed. I love 6.5 Creed. Now I'm hoping that I'm going to love 6mm Creed even more coming up soon.
See, I think that the 6 Creed is probably the best Creed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, because it's already a barrel burner, right? Either way, and you're not shooting a high volume through it, which that's what 308 is good for. 308 is great for high volume shooting because you're not going to burn out the barrels. You have great barrel life. The logistics behind it are exceptional, especially if you're running military contracts. You know, your access to ammo is great. For the civilian, though, 6.5 Creedmoor versus 308 ammo prices are basically the same. 6.5 Creedmoor is more ballistically capable, lighter recoiling, more distance capability out of a shorter barrel. For instance, again, my 14.5, we just took out to 1220. 260 Rem over Creedmoor, but that is in the losers bracket, and you guys didn't want to do the losers bracket, so now we're stuck in the winners bracket where there is no 260 Remington.
unfortunately, we got overruled on 260 Rem versus 6.5 Creed.
Yeah. It wasn't my fault. It was the chat. That was the chat poll, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
pretty
so.
sure, because I'm pretty sure I went 6.5.
It was like 90-10 or something like that.
Yeah. It's because nobody knows it, so you got outvoted for that. Creed, the band, is the best. Yes, take me higher, please. All right, let's see. 270 versus 7 Mag. I don't have a dog in this fight.
So I think that I'm gonna piss off Jack O'Connor's ghost and say that 7 Mag. But 270 is like, screw it. Throw it in the throw it to the chat. Let the wolves decide.
So 270 is like, it's a great deer cartridge.
I mean, it's a good for everything.
It'll do anything. 7 Mag. Which one would you rather go out to distance with?
I mean, 7 Mag, easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I have to pick a bolt gun, 7 Mag is my bolt gun.
And 7 Mag has way better bullet availability as well.
Mm-hmm.
50-50.
Maybe not coming up now that 6.8 is being more... That is getting more... what's the word that I'm looking for? More logistics behind it. So maybe 270 is like the way to go in the future, but 7 mil supremacy. Right.
It's close, man. 55-45. So I don't know. What's going to happen there. 270, 277. 270 is a classic. You are correct. Curio Relic for 2 says 270. American Reloading never runs out of cool ass 270 bullets. I don't hand load though, so again, I really don't have a dog in this fight. 52-48. It's close. 52-48. Oh, it jumped up. 54-46. Somebody's got to hop in there and fudge the numbers here.
If you super chat, it's worth 3%.
Right. No, you need 5% now. It's got to be bigger. 270 all day. With Barnes TTSX, you can drop anything in North America in 7 Mag. Yeah, for sure. Other than a Yeti. Oh, it got even worse at the end. It's now at 59-41 for 270. So I'm pretty sure.
Free and fair bullshit.
60-40. Unbelievable. Right? This is why people shouldn't be allowed to vote. Because they pick things we don't want, darn it. All right. 7mm 08 versus 5.7 by 28.
708.
Man, these could not be.
Oh, Andrew Vachon came in with a 270, always up to the bribe. You know what? I agree. I'm on team 270 now.
Yeah, exactly.
My opinions can be bought.
But, oh gosh, this is a weird one. So I like 7mm 08. You can get it in a semi-auto. Ammo is not ubiquitous and is not easy to find. Neither is really 5.7 by 28, but it is a little bit more common. But if we're talking about capability, I mean, 5.7 by 28 is not particularly capable, right? Its only claim to fame is that it it penetrates like a 3A plate with like a specific projectile, and like that's like it. Or like, hey, it also penetrates this helmet at like this specific distance. That's the only thing that it's really known for. versus 7mm is better.
Yeah, I would agree that 708 is better, and I don't know what you're saying about it not being ubiquitous. Not only can I find it at the Sportsman's Warehouse or the Cabela's or the Bass Pro, I can also go down to the Ace Hardware. I can also go down to the Ace Hardware and find a loading, and they're all different loadings. So that's cool.
You have a better Ace Hardware than I do then, because 7mm, like I don't see it around here. Like maybe Shields might carry 1 or 2 boxes, but either of the actual like gun stores, like they're not particularly big, but they don't really carry anything. So 5.7 for memes and Tarkov, says Mullybuggy. 5.7 wins because of Stargate. Yeah, I'll die on this hill holding my space gun. Dude, that is I remember Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. For some reason, they're all using P90s like all the time. For like 20 years, it was the sci-fi space gun of choice. Ooh, 5.7 can penetrate energy shields. That's true. But FN hates civvies? Oh, FN doesn't hate us. They just overcharge us for everything. Don't worry about it. Multicam says, can you stop shooting at me with that thing? 5.7 in a nutshell. All right. 6.5 PRC versus 7.62 by 39. This is a weird one. This is, again, it just gets weirder after this.
I mean, I'm voting X39 in this case, but
okay, I probably would as well.
That's just because, I mean, to be fair, I don't have much experience with the PRC. So
it's just a nice caliber. That's just nice.
I can't speak to it as much as I can speak to the X39. And the X39, the X39 has like totally changed the game on how bullets were developed. A lot of the, as I said before, a lot of the most accurate bullets out to 300 yards are based on the X39 case. X39 is insanely accurate if you get the right bullet and it's loaded properly, which is hard to do. But you know, the 154s that I have will shoot, you know, like 1/4-inch 5-shot groups at 200 yards. Like, it's crazy. I love that.
That sounds like a fishing story with your buddies, dude. 1/4-inch at 200 yards.
Okay, maybe not a 1/4 inch, maybe about
but I've had 7.60 by 39 guns that shot well. Yeah. So yeah, it is possible for sure. And 6.5 PRC is like a hunting or a distance cartridge. That's the only thing you're doing with it.
And you use those 154 grains, and it matches the energy of the 30-30. So
50 Beowulf versus 308. We don't really need to talk about this one. 50 Beowulf is now in the losers bracket where it belongs, because 308. Well, you know, looking at this list, 308 and 5.56 might just clear till the end. Yeah. Because unless somebody votes for a meme, we're up to some pretty good calibers here. I think we kind of got some of the best calibers. There might be a few out of here, like maybe I would have wanted 6 arc from the losers bracket, but other than that, we kind of got all the good ones. All right, yeah. 30-06 versus 223, and why is it 223?
30-06, you mean?
Well, we'll see what the chat has to say about that. Now,
chat, this is where we're going to need you. We need to knock out 223.
This is one of those moments where the 223 or the chat just says, F you, John. 2 hours into the stream, they're like, you know what? We're going to start screwing with you now. Please, no, please. Sorry, Gary. Damn it. 223, 556, 223, 223. 30-06 greater than 223? I don't believe so, sir. There is only one choice that is correct. Chat doesn't shoot 1/4-inch at 200 yards. Now, chat doesn't shoot at all. Chat can barely type.
1/4-inch.
Chat can barely
MOA
type.
At 200 yards.
1/4 MOA, right. So it was a 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
No, sorry. It was 0.517. 0.517 inches, I'll have you know. New Lake City M193 is hitting 3,100 out of a 16-inch barrel. What are they feeding those guys?
Come on, chat. Don't do me like this.
68. Okay. Whew. You know, I'm worried. I'm worried because at some point I think they are going to, just for the memes, bite me.
Hang on. I got to go open up another tab.
Right. We're just sitting here. It's just us that are voting. Every 2 minutes we're throwing in another vote for the other side. 30-06, 223, 556. Yeah, 3100 out of a 16-inch barrel sounds nice.
But 30.
I am
30
definitely
is
not
so
getting that
versatile.
with my remanufactured loads or with like I think I've been shooting some Fiocchi range dynamics. I want to say that's what it is. Not great. It's not great. Coosville says, "What context are we talking about?" Sorry, joined late. Well, I suppose at this point we are in the general purpose context, because at some point the calibers become so disparate, right? Because we kind of start out like for like, and then as we work our way down, it's just going to get crazy. So you kind of have to take them. What are they good for? And then which one would you rather use in like a general purpose context? Because of course, like 30-06 is better for taking down a bear, you know, or like one-shotting something from distance for sure. But 556/223 is so versatile. The ammunition is so cheap, so ubiquitous. The LBE is there. The rifles are there. You can get a gun, any gun you want, chambered in 556. Yeah. Garand is fuming from his grave. No, he's alive. I was just watching one of his videos. What are you talking about? Yeah, Richard comes in and he says that 40 grain VMAX from Fiocchi is pretty nasty. Yeah, I've had really good luck
You
with that
can't
target load,
get
actually.
black tip 556 though.
No, you can. It's called M855A1.
Yeah.
It's not as good. It's not as good. No. Yeah, but that's the thing. When we get to specific applications, anytime you have a 30 caliber projectile and a big enough case, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. You know, you want to scream at 4,000 FPS load, you can do it. You know, you just shove in a 95 grain VMAX and you're good to go. All right, but 223 has it at 79% of the vote. So
That's crazy.
I was weird there. Now, I'm going to lose this one because my baby 6.5 Creed is about to go down to 22 long rifle. So, of course, we have the ubiquitous, the ultra cheap, the ultra fun 22 long rifle versus the 6.5 Creedmoor, which, of course, it's more ballistically capable, but I think the chat is probably going to go with 22 long rifle, unless, of course, you happen to side with me for some reason. Andy O says M855A1 is like $3 a round. Yes, it is. If you can buy it off of a truck somewhere or whatnot. I've never seen it in person. So there was somebody selling a bunch on Gunbroker, and I think he was selling them for $3 a round, and he had like a case of them. So no idea where he got that from. So, Gary, are you going 6.5 Creed or 22 long rifle on this?
Oh, you know where I'm going with this. 22 LR, only because they don't sell buckets of 6.5 Creed. Or 308, for that matter.
I'm actually going to be selling my 6.5 Creed upper that I built out pretty soon. Put it on the website as a leftover. Because I'm done with it now. Whew. All right, I am worried about this. 54 for 22 long rifle.
This.
The poll is live.
This is close.
We'll see how they do. 54. 22 long rifle can carry 100 rounds in a teeny Ziploc, so useful. Well, 100 rounds of non-useful 22 long rifle is not as effective as 10 rounds of useful 6.5 Creedmoor.
You know, I heard that you can hit a beer can at 540 yards with iron sights on a 22 LR.
No. Wasn't it 700 yards or something crazy he was saying?
Something.
It was some ridiculous number. No. So I took my, I think I sold it, but I took my, what was it? It was a Ruger Precision 22, which is not particularly precise. But anyways, I took that out to 400 yards with the Maven RS.4, which is an $1,800 scope. And that was tricky, you know, at 400 yards with like really nice, like Ely 10X ammo, I think is what I was using. That was not particularly easy to do. Oh, I was out of mils. I was out of mils in the scope. And then I had to back off the magnification to get more in the reticle at 400 yards. Which is what I had to do at 1220 with my 6.5 Creedmoor. I dialed 49 in the turrets, 49 MOA in the turrets, and then I had to hold at 10 more in the reticle at 1,200 yards, and then I just held for wind. 22 long rifles at 60%, man. I knew it. It's too cheap. Too many people are going to go for it. It's too cheap. Yeah, the Afterpain says it was claimed 700 yards. He wasn't terribly far off though. Lol. Yeah, 700 yards is just it's like you're mortaring it in at that point. Oh man, should I buy that used 6.5? Is it the 14.5-inch test upper? It's the one. It's sitting over in my. It's the one that I do all my shooting with. So the only reason I'm selling it is because I'm moving it to 6mm, right? So I just don't need both of them. M855A1 truly is a garbage projectile. I wouldn't say it's garbage, but it doesn't quite do all the things you want it to do, and it can cause some issues with your feed ramps because that titanium, or not titanium, that tungsten core, tungsten tip, whatever it is. Julian says, love 22 long rifle, but it doesn't slap at 800 like my 16-inch 6 Creed does. Yeah. 6 Creed's such a great round. I love it. Julian says he wants to buy it. I mean, listen, when I put it up on the website, I'm pretty sure it's gone. I've had so many people reach out to me about that upper specifically, or asking if I can make them one just like it. I don't know why I don't put those on the website. I'm pretty sure they would sell, but I'm going to lose. It's at 60% for 22 long rifle. So unfortunately, I got outvoted. Sad day. 270 versus 7mm 08. This is, I think we have to give it to 7mm 08 because
I agree.
7mm 08 has had a really easy run. Let's just put it that way, because it keeps going up against like other calibers that aren't quite as useful or aren't quite as, like you can't necessarily put them in a AR-10 as easily, so it's harder to find a semi-auto for them. Yeah, I think 7mm 08 just keeps winning because it's basically, again, similar to 308. Yeah,
I definitely didn't formulate this bracket so that 708 would get as far as it possibly could.
It's unbelievable. You gave it the easy route because, I mean, versus 338 Federal, it's got to win. 7mm 08 versus 5.7, it's got to win. And then versus 270, 270 is nice. It's ubiquitous, or not necessarily ubiquitous, but it's, it's older, venerable cartridge. But 7mm 08 just does a little bit more. So, yeah.
I actually didn't do it on purpose. I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident that it came out like this, but it is a happy accident. And I love
a happy accident, exactly. Andrew Vachon for the 490 says 6.5 and 5.56 victory must be secured. Thank you very much for the 499, Andrew. Much appreciated. But unfortunately, our venerated lady of 6.5 Creed is no more. She lost to 22 long rifle. Now, it might be a murderer in the losers bracket though, because I don't know what else stands up against it in the losers bracket. All right. 7.62 by 39 versus 308. And in the USA, there is only one answer, and that is God's Caliber. 308. This is 308.
It's 308 all day, every day. 308's making it to the finals.
Andrew Vachon says, recount the ballots. The special interest was delayed. Voting isn't supposed to work. Exactly. Sorry, commies. 308 always beats X39 face to face. That's right. 308. I'm going X39, but probably going to lose to 308. Yes, you are, sir. I think in this crowd, 7.62 by 39 is a tough sell versus 308. That's what I'm saying. Where is 17 Incinerator? I don't even know what that is. What is 17 Incinerator?
I've never heard of it. That's why it's not on the list.
Oof! I almost made a really bad joke. I don't think I can make it on this channel. All right, let's see. We are into the semifinals. How is 7mm 08 in here? That's my question. You look at the rest of these and you're like, oh, of course, 308, 5.56, 22 long rifle, of course. And then 7mm 08 is just also here for some reason.
Because it's the best. It's the best 308 Wildcat. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay. Well, let's end this charade. 7mm 08 versus 308, and why is it 3? Even though I love 7mm 08,
it's 308. I am a 7 simp, and I'm saying that it's 308. So,
just for fun. Let's put that up for a second. Yeah, I agree. 308 all the way. Let's banish that guy to the Shadow Realms where it belongs. Javino says, is it a German cartridge? It might be. I think he's referring to the 17 incinerator. Anyways, moving on to
Something about
223.
Something about ovens.
Yeah.
Something about 6 million cookies. I don't know.
It's if you look at the time scales, man, the time scales. Anyways, 308 versus 7mm 08. 308 is absolutely dominating as it should. But this next one's got me worried, man. It's 223 versus 22 long rifle. I don't know about this. Is it 50 BMG necked down to 1.7? I don't think the bullet could keep together with that much energy. Also, the amount of energy getting necked down into 0.17, the barrel would probably explode.
I mean, that sounds like a pipe bomb.
Yeah, I don't think you could actually dump the energy fast enough with that small of a bore.
I think the biggest. I think the biggest one that they've had success with is a 338 Lapua necked down to 17.
What?
Yeah, it's called the Irgensplitten Loudenboomer.
Okay, so somebody commented that earlier. Yeah, the Irgensplitten Loudenboomer by the Afterpain. I kind of want to look that up now. That's hilarious. Okay, but 223 versus 22 long rifle, and why is it 223?
It is 22 LR. And put this up for a vote because I want to see it.
I put it up. It's a poll. Just don't mind me as I'm playing around over here, just looking for my stream on YouTube. Oh yeah.
Don't mind.
All right. It looks like we're good. Looks like we're good.
I'm definitely not texting all of my friends to hop into this chat.
Vote right now. No, dude, it's not even close. It's a murder house in here. It is 88% for 223/556. So
you guys did me dirty.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to let that charade pass on any longer. All right. Last one.
This hurts.
You know what? I don't know who's going to win this. 223 versus 308. I think it's going to be 223.
I say 308.
No. Have we done 20mm Vulcan yet? No, not quite. So I'm
having a hard time finding that one in stores.
Which one?
20mm
Vulcan. Yeah. It's not on my local store. Official Rivera comes in and he says, so having had been to combat and used some of the calibers on this list, 6.5 Creedmoor is definitely up there. I agree with you, sir. And it got knocked out, and not by my choice. It would still be in here. You know, if I had my way, this would be 223 versus 6.5 Creedmoor right now. Don't ask questions like how many ARs I have. I have a problem. Yeah, I know. We all do. We're here. If you're here right now, you know, late at night, watching a caliber showdown in like a tournament format, you have a problem. That's why we're here. 500 kilogram bomb. Yep. Actually not as good as some of the other call downs, but it's all right. All right. So let's go ahead and put it to a poll because I am interested to see how this. Oh wait, do I already have it up? Oh no, I forgot to end the last one. Sorry. Andrew Vachon for 199 says 5.56. I agree with you, sir. I agree. But let's see. Moment of truth, guys. So you guys could just hear me typing away. Oh, come on. Purple. Yes, we must consult the All-Father, Nut and Fancy. That is correct. That's right. Yes.
Chat, what are you doing to me? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, buddy. Even though I love 308, but yeah, I mean, if I'm taking a rifle to do a thing, it's 5.56. My LBE is simpler. My compatibility is better. My recoil is less. My weight is down. Man. My buddy found 12.7 by 108 ammo in an LGS once, somehow. Weird.
That's awesome.
Orlando says, get wrecked, 308 FUDs. That's right. That is the objectively correct mentality to have.
I only need about 10 people to vote for 308, and then we flipped this vote.
78%. I don't think you're getting 10 in a row.
No, I'm not.
Andrew Vachon for 199 says if 69 through 77 grain 556 didn't exist, this would be harder. Right. Fun fact, there's an improved incinerator that takes it from Mach 5 to 5.5. The amount of energy it takes to propel a projectile, like once you get beyond, like, what is it, 4,000 FPS, your diminishing returns are just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, you can get some really long 22 caliber projectiles now for like, what is the other caliber that's out there? 22 accuracy enhanced, 22 AI?
No, there's a 22 Creed now.
Yeah, I have seen that. I mean, that's like the definition of a barrel burner right there. All right. Oh, what is that?
What is
You
what?
got a plane going over you, bud.
Yeah, there's a plane real low, like maybe
Thanks, bro.
1,200 feet. It's crazy.
All right, so now do we want to go through the losers bracket real fast? We're 2 hours in. Or do we want to call it there? It's up to you, sir. Because this is one of our longer streams, and we still have probably another 30 minutes if we go fast. We can do it in 30 minutes.
I don't know. I'm good with whatever.
Okay, well, let's keep it going. I'll try and do it in one because there is technically a winners versus losers face-off here.
We haven't won yet. Your 223 has not won yet.
It will, but not yet. Okay. All right, we're going to do the losers in one round. There's still 160 people here, so we're going to do it. All right. Really quick. 7.60 by 54R versus 260 or 280 rem. Sorry, if it was 260 rem, this would be different, but I'm actually going to say 7.60 by 54R.
Agreed. 54R is amazing.
All right, 300 black versus 6 arc.
Anybody say
that's actually harder.
Does anybody say 6 arc? Because I'm thinking 300 blackout.
Shoot, damn it. I kind of want to say 6 arc. So let's give it. We'll give the chat 1 minute here because we want to rush through this. Not necessarily crazy fast, but 6 arc.
Do you want to?
I'm actually curious.
I'm good. However long you want to take, man. I don't have any way to do.
Well, so actually, I am in a little bit of a rush just because I'm flying back to Washington for a couple weeks, and so I have 2 more days to finish like 4 videos. So.
Gotcha.
It's going to be a long one for me. But while we're here, 300 black. Damn it. Unbelievable. Yeah, no, I'm crushed. I'm out. I'm done. 300 blackout wins that one hands down. No problem. Didn't even need to. All right. 17 HMR versus 3030.
I vote 3030. 3030 is a fun one. 17 HMR is
I agree with that.
Expensive for rimfire.
Yeah, and it's just not as usable because you don't get like the 22 long rifle. It's cheap, and you can get a ton of different guns chambered in it. 17 HMR is just like that, but worse. Now here's an interesting one: 22 250 versus 260 Remington. I actually kind of like 22 250 for this one.
So I'm still on the 260 train, but this one is a lot. I mean, like the 708 and the 308. These are all based on the 308 case. So they're at least similar. So
260 rem. We'll try this one here.
22 250, 22 250, 22 250. 3030, we already did that.
As soon as I say something, it's people start commenting the other one. Yeah, because I kind of like 22 250 if we're just talking about like target shooting. I kind of like 22 250. Patrick J says, sorry, I wasn't paying attention because I was installing a new barrel on my 22 250. Well, congratulations. I hope it runs well for you, sir.
Do you have like a barrel subscription for your 22 250? Do they just deliver a new one every month?
Well, they might have to. That would actually be funny, wouldn't it? Availability alone, 22,250.
I see
Yeah,
more
22,250
260 than I do 22,250.
But the voters is what matter. You know, you can't listen to that vocal minority because they'll make you do all sorts of crazy things.
Shit. Just broke my chair.
You know, that's a bad sign, sir. Patrick J says weekly. Yeah. No, I wonder what your legitimate barrel life is on those, like 1,000 rounds?
Probably.
1,200? Yeah. Yeah. But 22,250 has it. Sorry, sir. Your 260 Rem did not make it as far as I was thinking. Got put down into the loser's bracket immediately and then lost its first round in the loser's bracket. Bro.
That's unfortunate.
They're just handing you that L. All right. 6.8 Western versus 300 Win Mag.
300 Win Mag. And if you pick
300
6.8
Win Mag.
Western, I don't want to be friends with you anymore.
Well, 6.8 Western is cool, but yeah, I mean, 300 Win Mag you can actually find.
For all intents and purposes, it's dead.
And you can get the 300 Win Mag in the new Barrett MRAD. You can get barrels in 300 Win Mag. So, man,
I just want to throw it out there.
Sorry,
I just want to throw it out there. There is a company. There are several companies that make 300 Win Mag ARs. So,
that's true. One of them being Bear Creek Arsenal.
yeah, that's. So they're just licensing that design out.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's Nemo that owns the patent for it, and then they license it out to other
That's
companies.
the one that I've always seen. Nemo Arms, yeah, that's what they're saying in the chat as well. Yeah, I know. This matchup is insane. 338 Federal versus 22 TCM. You know, which is funny. I think, what was 338 Federal in against in the beginning?
708.
708. Oh, no. Yeah. But no, then 708 went up against 5.7 by 28. So that's why it sounded familiar. 338 Federal versus 22 TCM. 338 Federal? Right? 338 Fed? 338
You know, honestly, if the things that Richard was saying were true about the cases exploding, I'm going 338. Which sucks because I actually like 22 TCM, but
and you have it, you're invested in it.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I can't spell. Can I edit this? Oh damn it, I can't. 338 Fed Boy or 330 Fed Boy. It's supposed to be 338. 22 Tomboy. Ooh, that again, dark joke. You can't make that. You can't make it on YouTube. All right, 338 Federal for sure. All right. 22 Mag versus 350 Legend. 350 Legend? Yeah.
I think 350 Legend. I don't know. I've just gotten my heart broken by the chat several times at this point, so I'm just gonna let you guys pick.
Can I open image in new tab? There we go. Wonder if that will let me pop it up here because I should be able to. Oh, sweet. So this is a 22 TCM here that Richard just sent me. Thank you, sir. Melted a channel liner, which reminds me, do you know a good way to remove a channel liner? No, I don't. Yeah, that is a 22 TCM with a funky looking primer there. Sure. All right. Let's go back to... Oh, I stopped sharing it. My bad. Let me pull that back up again. There it is. Boom. All right. 350 Legend, right? That's what we're saying.
Do we put it up for a vote on the chat?
Oh, did I not? Did I not do that? That's on that. Just really quick, because I got a question I got to answer too, so I'll answer a question. 350 Legend versus, what was it? 22 Mag? Where did I just lost it. 22 Mag. There's no right answer here. Both lead balloons. 22 War for the memes. 350, 350L. Ooh, this is tough. 22 Mag, 350 easy, 350, 350L. We understand. Let's see. There was a question in here, wasn't there? I thought I shot one. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy. Oof. Best first red dot. I'm still gonna say the Romeo 5. If we're talking about for a rifle, like it's cheap. You can get any sort of aftermarket mount that you want. However, they did just come out with the new Romeo MSR with the new body design that also takes T1, T2 mounts. Maybe that could be cool. It's hard to go wrong with some of the budget Holosun models as well. So it kind of depends. Kind of depends on what you want. Romeo 5 XDR, says Julian. Also a good option for sure. Yeah, it's basically a Sig Romeo MSR XDR, something like that. Something like that. You know what? I think 22 Mag is going to beat out 350 Legend here. So I think we're getting outvoted by the chat, actually, which is terrible.
It looks close. It looks close.
56
let it go for
44
another
right now. Yeah, we'll let it go. We'll let it go. We're fine. Let's we'll circle back to that. Now here's
I don't
one
think
where
that
I think
there's this is I don't think that this is controversial at all, that 277 Sig is likely a better idea than 65300.
Right.
As hilarious as 65300 is.
Eventually you're going to get more guns in 277 Sig that are serious, that work well. They'll iron out the kinks. Prices will hopefully come down at some point if they don't just drop the caliber. So 22 Mag has availability going for it. I mean, 350 Legend is available at Walmart. Like, you can just go to Walmart and you'll find the Winchester white box just sitting there. 277 Slander supported. Yes, that's actually a great channel name. Slander supported. All right. Wait, how do we do these? 50 Beowulf versus 7.62 by 54R. Got to be 7.62 by 54R, right? If Gary doesn't vote, then I'm going to go 7.62 by 54R.
Yeah, no, I'm on board with 54R. Sorry. As I said, my chair is broken. My chair is broken. I was like, crap, what am I going to do?
Just try to stand up. 300 Blackout versus 6.5 PRC. It's got to be 300 Blackout, right?
I agree with 300 Blackout.
All right.
Does anybody disagree with 300 Blackout?
No, nobody can disagree with 300 Blackout there. I mean, versus 6.5 PRC. 6.5 PRC is only like a long distance or a hunting cartridge. That's really all you can do with it. Now, here's again another wacky matchup: 5.7 by 28 versus 30.30.
30.30's making it further.
Damn it, you're probably right. It's just the fact that 5.7 by 28 is so anemic. It's so expensive. And 30.30 technically has... I don't know actually, because I'm trying to think of guns chambered in 30.30 that are good. All the chat's saying 30.30. 157. One brave soul in the chat. No, two brave souls in the chat say 5.7. Everybody else is saying 30.30. Should we? Well, we got to end it because 350 Legend versus 22 Mag. 22 Mag did win that.
That was close though.
So it was closer than I thought. Versus 30-30. I'm pretty sure 30-30 just wins this outright, though. Marlin 336. Yeah, I just irrationally hate 30-30. I don't know why, though. It's not like it's a ballistically efficient round, but it's fine. Yeah, that's Picatinny comes in with a good idea. He says that I would have said 30-30, but there are now a lot more options for guns that shoot 5.7. This is true. The thing I don't like about 5.57 though is that it just doesn't really perform that well. It's just, it doesn't really fragment, it doesn't really expand, it can tumble, but it doesn't matter because 30-30 won out in the poll. So I'm happy with that. 7 Mag versus 2250. This is your baby.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that 22-250 is going to win, but
no, 7 Mag was close. 7 Mag was close last time. 7 Mag was very close. Because it barely lost to, what did it lose to earlier on?
Let me see here.
It lost to 308. No, 7mm. What are we talking about?
No, 7 Mag lost to.
Oh, sorry, we're on 7 Mag. 7 Mag. Yeah, you're right. Lost the 270s. I mean, they're both kind of boomer cartridges, but
I mean,
no, 7 mag is clearing house 86% right now. 7 mag, 7777. Jeez, this is my lucky night.
a lot of sevens.
All right.
tonight.
What? Oh, this one. Yeah, 7 mag. We don't need to let that go on. That's a murder. All right, 243 versus 300 Win Mag. 300 Win Mag.
300 Win Mag.
45.
300 Win Mag?
Ooh. Yeah, I think so.
Wait. Is the chat saying anything? No.
Not yet.
Chat
No.
doesn't
We
wanna-
went way too fast because they're like 10 seconds
doesn't wanna
back. Gotta remember,
contribute?
they're just a few seconds back from us. Yeah, 300. You'll start seeing them now. 300, 300, 300. 243 in there. I think that people might have some nostalgia for 243, like if they went hunting as a kid and they were shooting a 243. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
But I think for us now as adults, I think that we're shooting 300 Win Mag, right?
Or 7 Mag.
Or 7 mag. Hey, that actually might you might get that matched up here shortly. All right, now
Again?
4570 versus 338 Federal.
Oh,
You
Big,
can
fat,
technically get an
slow.
AR-10 to 301 mag. Yeah, I don't know about this one.
well, you can't get an AR-10 in 4570,
That's
but
true.
you can get one in 338.
True. And it's just a barrel swap. Ammunition
But
is expensive.
4570 is the only government I trust.
Ooh, there you go. I'm actually curious. I wonder. I think our chat is going to say 338. But if we were in like a different, like a more, I don't want to say boomery chat, but let's say we had like an older audience, I think they might all go 4570. 4570, 4570, 4570. I'm seeing a lot of 4570s. You know what? It's actually winning. Damn it. I spoke too soon. I opened my mouth just to put my foot right in it. Oh, 338. 338 is... Ooh, it's close. Man, 4570 took the lead early. Barnes says, I'm 37. 338 Federal. I mean, that's not old. I'm talking like 50 plus. Bad boy round to be gone.
Not that old.
No. It's not that old. But I'm talking about like if you're older and you grew up more with like lever guns and stuff like that before, you know, everybody became so like tactically oriented, let's say. I think 4570 might be a little bit more popular with a different crowd. But we are sitting at 55, 45, 56, 54. It's close. It's close. I'm like 50 plus. Your attitude shows it, sir, and I appreciate it. 4570 AR-10 and 4570 auto exists. What? Thaddeus Cummings.
Does that
might
fit in a
be...
standard frame AR-10 though?
I don't know. I would imagine it has to depend on the specific loading that you're using, because obviously you can make like a really long like cast bullet that wouldn't even feed in an AR-10. Picatinny Tindalo says, if SHOT Show is any indication, lever guns are coming into fashion again. We might see more 4570 guns. I think that is the industry chasing a trend that doesn't really exist. That's probably going to be pushed by a bunch of YouTubers, and you'll see a lot of media on it, but it's not like
that trend was like 3 years ago.
Well, no, it's coming back. Well, got to remember, the industry is always chasing trends. So if they think something is popular, it's going to take them 2, 3, 4 years to actually bring something to market. Like I was looking at Aero Precision's their soulless bolt rifle. Man, that thing is expensive for Aero Precision.
Is it any good though?
The full
bolt guns
setup's like
can get
$2,000.
Ridiculous.
Well,
Bolt
yeah,
guns
but you can get like a Daniel Defense cheaper than that. And I was like, your Aero Precision, what are you doing here? But no, I think 338 Federal has it by 7%.
If they contracted out with American Rifle Company, if Aero contracted out with American Rifle Company, that I could see $2,000 for a Solus, but I don't know if they did that or not.
Oh, it's a
gotten,
rimless
like-
version of 4570. Interesting.
Have I gotten like exceptionally dark? Chad, have I gotten really dark? Can you see me at
You're
all?
very dark. You're just you're just a shadow. But what's funny is the bullets are very bright, so we can see the bullets, but we can't see you. 780 Dinobot mag. All right. No, I think you'll see a comeback of lever gun. Not a comeback, but you'll see a lot of them being pushed online, and I'm sure they'll make some sales on them. But it's never going to be like super popular like it was back in the day when it was cutting edge technology. They'll kind of be a novelty. All right, 6.5 Grendel versus 22 Mag. 6.5 Grendel, yeah. Straight up.
I think you have to. I don't want to, but I think 22 mag is slept on.
I think it should be slept on. So I'm all right with that. 6.5, everybody's saying 6.5. 1,500 barreled actions for around 500. MDT has some nice options for their short action. I don't get why people are spending so much on pre-built. Yeah, I mean, I was looking into building a rifle because I have somebody that's sending me an 8.6 Blackout barrel for a 700 action. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to go buy an action and buy a stock, and put it all together. And then I was like, why is everything so expensive in the bolt gun world? Like, it's cheaper to go out and buy another rifle and then just rebarrel it than to buy a stock and an action. I'm like, this is retarded. This is retarded. All right, 6.8 SPC versus 277 Sig. Man, this is the battle of the outdated or the soon-to-be outdated cartridges. Because you remember there was a time where 6.8 SPC was like the new hot thing, and then it never took off. And then now 277 Sig is currently in that position. Now, it could end up taking off and sticking around for a long time, but only time will tell. Man, 6.8, 6.8. This is actually going to be this 6.8 out of hate. That's right. That is right. This is funny.
I support anybody that hates the 277 Fury.
Man, it is so funny that it's like one of the least popular things Sig has ever done other than make a Generation 1 handgun. Okay, so at this point, have more Gen 1 Sig products blown up than not? I'm pretty sure every single, well, at least out of the last like 3 or 4 of their handguns had issues. The 320, 365, although they have a bunch of different variations of each one, so I don't know if that's totally fair. The Sig Cross, Sig MCX in the beginning was blowing up recoil springs. Yeah. 6.5 Creed, the 90s band, that's right. 365, yeah, there was 365 safety issues when it first came out, like early guns.
I thought that was the 320s that were having the safety issues.
Well, the 320s have always had safety issues, and then it like dies down for like 6 months, and then it comes right. Comes right back.
And the Cross had that issue where it would just go off if the safety was flipped off.
Well, you would touch the bolt and it would go off, and it's like, oh, thanks. How do I get this round out? It's a self-clearing issue. Friends don't let friends buy SIGs. I had a 365 for a little while that I bought to review. Then I sold it, and then I shot somebody else's 365 XL. They're fine. There's nothing special. But 6.8 SPC. So that means that there are some 277 supporters in the audience, but they're just not they're not showing out for it. They're not chatting about it, that's for sure. But they do exist. They are out there.
I would rather Appendix carry a 3D printed Glock than a P320. I'm just throwing it out there, Mr. Loken. I see you.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, 365 had a bunch of early on recalls for drop safety issues. Yeah, drop safety issues have been like Sig's bane. Yeah, so Cole says, I voted 277 because it might have a future, which is correct. Again, 5-10 years from now, who knows what the landscape will look like. But 6.8 SPC, it had its time. Well, actually, I take that back. It never had its time, but it tried to. All right, 7.60 by 54R versus 300 Blackout. Now, here's a weird one.
No, I do not have 2,000 plus on an FMDA frame, unless we're talking about dollars spent on filament. And then, in which case, yes, I have spent $2,000 on filament. That's about right.
That sounds awful.
Managed to get with carbon infused nylon. I've managed to go 200-ish before I decided that I was done with it. I put it away. So,
man, every time somebody talks about 3D printing and they talk about getting like, dude, I got a couple hundred rounds and I've been doing this, and then they talk about all the money they're spending, I'm like, bro, that's just not worth it. That's not worth it.
It's fun when
like
you
it's like a fun hobby. Yeah.
Like the pistol grip on my AR-10 is 3D printed, and I like it like a lot. It works out better for me than any of the other ones that I've bought. So I'm good with that. But and the foregrip is pretty fantastic.
Sorry, why is 300 Blackout crushing right now? All we have to do is mention SIG issues, and the everybody's chatting about them. The 365 barrels tilted too soon, delaying the tilt stopped the striker tips from breaking. F SIG though, sons. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like SIGs. Everybody's arguing about it. It's like, no, they weren't drop safe. No, the strikers broke. No, they had this issue. No, they had this issue. Actually, the issue was, man, AAC Honey Badger. I don't think it's the AAC. But I know what you're saying. Zoomers don't know about 54R. Yeah, I know. The chat says 54R, but the
54R is not corrosive. Certain spam cans of 54R are corrosive.
300 Blackout is you. 86 Black is the guy your girlfriend told you not to worry about. Probably. But I don't like 86 Blackout. I don't like the idea of it because I don't like 300 Blackout. And 86 is just that with way more expensive ammo and doesn't really do anything more. 54R garbage rods are cool, but 300 Blackout is definitely cooler. My home defense gun is a 300 Blackout. 54R is FUD. Unbelievable. 300 or Mosins cost more than 300 Blackout pistols. That's sad. That's a sad time to be alive. There aren't any AR magazines in 7.60 by 54R. Fair enough. 300 Blackout has it, man.
I think it's just because we can't get an SVD in the US.
Gotta switch that. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the rifles were more popular here, we would probably get more. But yeah, 300 Blackout suppressed isn't terrible. 54R hits at 1,000 and can be used in pistols. Lol. Technically, anything can be used in pistols. Sad.
What are they called?
54R. Yep.
What do they call those chop down bolt action? Those chop down Nagants?
The nunchuck version or the regular version? I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't remember what they're what they're called.
I can't remember what they're called.
7 mag versus 30-30. The Obrez, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, Obrez.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. I did make the rules, but actually, no. Actually, Gary made the rules, so you can blame Gary.
I made the rules, and I'm losing, so I think these were fair rules.
30-30 versus 7 mag. We have a lot of your favorites down here in the losers bracket. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Patrick says my home defense gun is a PKM. 300 Blackout is dumb. Why did you begin to pronounce the Nagant with an I? Was I? Nagant? Or are you just joking? Are you just joking with me, trying to get me to say something? You meanie. I'm saying 7 mag here.
I'm agreeing 7 mag. Please, chat, say 7 mag.
Well, it doesn't matter. We agreed.
Hand me a win.
And they're still talking about SIG issues. SIG X Macro had issues too. Yeah, for sure. 300 Win Mag versus 338 Federal. 300 Win Mag, right?
That was a salacious lie. I would never say that.
Try and say that 10 times fast. All right. Ooh, here's a good one. 6.5 Grendel versus 2.77 Fury. Because I'm pretty sure the chat is just going to hate 277 here. Wait, how did 277 make it on? I thought we.
I thought
covered that.
I thought 681.
Oh, I was wrong. Sorry, I just clicked the wrong one. My bad. Here's a much more interesting shootout: 6.5 Grendel versus 6.8 SPC. Sorry, guys. I know I'm confusing the chat right now. It's 6.5 Grendel versus 6.8 SPC, not the other way around. 6.5 Grendel? Yeah. Still 6.5? 6.5?
6.5. I agree. 6.5.
6.8? I'm actually curious. I'm pretty sure the chat is just going to dominate with 6.5 Grendel. I'm pretty sure. 54R, you're back there a little bit. Grendel has an actual purpose. I mean, 6.8 SPC isn't terrible. It just doesn't do anything particularly well. Clay just had a stroke on the keyboard. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's 6.5 Grendel.
6.5 by 55. I wish I had one to play with. I don't. That one's actually available, though, so that's cool.
Agreed. Bushmaster 6.8 SPC was pretty accurate. I mean, I actually had good luck with my ACRs. I never got a 6.8 SPC conversion kit, though. I had the 300 Blackout conversion kit, but never the 6.8. I have seen people run the 6.8s, but all right. So 6.5 Creed versus 300 Blackout. Now, I'm pretty sure this one's going to go my way. 6.5 Creedmoor is just a more capable round. The only thing sitting in 300 Blackout's pocket is the fact that you can run subsonics, which are only cool for like 12 seconds. And then you're going to wish you had supersonic rounds.
And then the fact that you can run it in a standard frame AR as opposed to a large frame AR. So,
well, yeah, but it's still standardized AR. I'm actually curious, though, because 300 Blackout did better than I thought it would. So it might actually also beat my 6.5 Creed. Hollow Creedmoor all day. That's right. 300 Black, 6.5 Grendel breaks bolts. Does. Yeah, in high round counts it can for sure. 6.5, 300 Black because wieners. I don't know what that means. Creed meme, Creed, 300, 6.5. It's going to be close. 52% right now.
52 to 48. Oh, let's just let this one go for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, 51, 49.
50-50. Oh, man.
Wow, guys.
The suspense is killing me.
52. 52 for
6.5 overtook. Oh, what? What is going on now?
53. Damn, it's very close. 52. And we need to have a countdown on this. 53. I think we might have it.
Let's go. Let's let it go for 2 minutes before we.
Okay. Man, it's close. I think it's going to be 6.5 Creed, but it is very close with 53 votes in, which means that what are we sitting?
136 viewers currently.
27, 28 votes for 6.5 Creed. 54, 46. Very close. Very close. How many of you actually shoot 300 Black versus 6.5 on a regular basis? So for me, I'm a bad person to ask because I shoot 6.5 Creed more than I do 300 Blackout by quite a bit, actually. It will take us higher. 6.5 Creed. My boss hates queer Moors. Sorry, bro. Your boss sounds gay. What's the average cost per round for 6.5 Creed? For match loads, probably $1.50 to $1.75. For ball loads, about $1 a round. You can sometimes get it just under $1 a round.
You should check that right now.
Ammo Sig. Where are you? I might as well.
It made me cry when I looked up 6.5 Creedmoor prices.
Wow, it's 68 cents a round. 74 for like standard S&B. So 74 cents a round right now for standard S&B, which I have a bunch in a case right behind me, actually. It's 6.5 Creed. It's 2 minutes. 58 votes. 6.5 Creed.
That is
Damn.
close. That is the closest one that we've had so far.
300. I think 300 Blackout is more prevalent. Do you reload 6.5? Ammo Seeks shows, 80 cents a round. I think that's within still 1 or 2 votes.
Yeah,
That is,
I think that's one vote.
Pretty damn close. All right. Just spend 3 minutes, but we're ending it there. It was 6.5 Creedmoor, so that makes me happy. But damn, that was close. Whew. All right, 30-06 versus 7 Mag.
So I want to say 7 Mag,
has been
but I'm not
advanced,
going to be
that's
mad if it goes 30-06.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Rippers was really pulling for 300 Blackout there, but it was close. It was very close. You know, did it end at 51.48? That means it was like 51.5 versus 48.5, and then it rounds down. So 7 Mag, 06, baby. This is another one where I think the chat is just going to pick 30-06. I think so.
I think so, and it's not going to hurt my feelings if you guys pick 30-06 for a change.
I mean, this one here, I don't have a dog in this race because you like 7 Mag, and I think 7 Mag is good. I
like
too.
7 Mag. I also think that 30-06 is the most versatile cartridge on this entire tier list or shootout bracket thing, whatever we're calling it.
06 is all about that surplus black tip. 06, yeah, 30-06 is crushing right now. 76% right now. 32 votes in. 77, 75. 300 Blackout. One gun can shoot X39 and 45 ACP. Yeah, if 45 ACP could penetrate 3A body armor, which is a really niche thing. I don't know. I guess there are still some people that wear 3A body armor, like security guards and maybe some police officers and whatnot, but it's probably not overall that useful of a statistic. Yeah, no, I agree with Anthony here that 7 Mag is definitely a better round as far as the energy drop, etc. For sure.
The chat's choosing 30-06 though. So.
It is, yeah. It's 70-30, man. That's about as good as it can get for 30-06. Moving on.
Good job.
All right. 7.62 versus 39 versus 300 Win Mag. It's got to be X39, right?
Hoping that we would get 39 against 300 Blackout, but we're not going to see that.
Actually, I wonder who would win there, just out of curiosity.
I would vote for 300 Blackout just because it's actually available now, but...
You have a better bullet selection as well.
That's true.
7.62 by 39 is slightly better out of an AK versus an AR, but just slightly. This is just for memes. I put a poll in the chat of 300 Blackout versus 7.62 by 39. Yeah, 300 Blackout's barely winning. But for this one, are we just going for 7.62 by 39?
I don't think so. I think we're going to go 300 Win Mag.
Okay, the poll I have in the chat right now. Actually, 60-40 for 300 Blackout. Wow, wasn't as close. People love 300 Blackout.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want.
That's interesting. 62%.
There's a lot to like about a 30 caliber cartridge out of an AR. So, and it actually works as opposed to the 7.62 by 39.
Yeah,
so
for sure. And AKs suck, so we don't need to get into that conversation yet. All right. So now the actual poll. 300 Win Mag versus 7.62 by 39. 300 Win Mag's 64% right now.
52-48.
Yeah, X39 is common in other countries' militaries. Yes, sir. The cost between 300 Blackout and X39 isn't too far off. It's true. 300 Blackout is imitation X39. Not quite. It does some different things.
Even if it is imitation X39, it still works better in American weapons than it does than 300 Blackout or
7.60 by 39.
Yeah, that one. Words.
Well, Barnes and Linema are going to get into a cage match together. LMAO, AKs don't suck, and as a former AK apologist, they do suck. So I'll let them battle that one out. But it looks like, actually, 7.60 by 39 is making a comeback. It was very close for a second there. Jeez, 51-49. A singular vote is all that separates them. 50-50.
What?
50-50. It is dead even. 1 minute in. 300 Blackout is the future. I don't know about that. 50 back to 50-50. Back to 50-50. Jeez. 7.60. It's 2 votes ahead now. So you're going to need 2 more before it hits 2 minutes.
What is this?
300 Win Mag sucks after 2 rounds. It's only climbing. It was close there for a little while, but it's 7.62 by 39, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the perfect take. Cole Dead Hand comes in and he says, as a current AK apologist, they do kind of suck, but I still love them, and that is perfectly acceptable. You don't have to like the newest, latest, greatest, most efficient thing ever. There can be things that are just fun. And if you think that I think running AKs is fun. I think shooting is fun. So, but I would never pick one, right? But unfortunately, I do have to pick 7.60 by 39 because it did beat out the venerable 300 Winchad. 270 versus 6'5 Grendel, sir. Richard says, I may have voted twice. Sorry, Gary. Yeah, Brian Lee.
Why are you like this?
Correct. Import ban killed the 545. Yeah, I kind of agree. Oof.
Yeah. I wanted to put 545 on here, but I've never actually seen it in the store. So
yeah, same.
Sucks.
Rando says an AK for $500 is fine. Paying $2,000 for an arsenal is tarded. Yeah. Yep. That does suck.
I'm seeing a lot of votes here for 6.5. I agree. What do you think about 6.5 AKs?
Well, that's better, right? I think 6.5 Grendel should be the standard caliber for AKs.
I agreed.
Because it's so much ballistically better. And it fits in the same magazines, takes the same bolt face. It actually works better. Yeah, and it's just, I mean, 7.60 by 39 drops off like a rock. 6.5 Grendel is not a flat shooting cartridge, but it is a very ballistically efficient cartridge. So I actually wish that they would all be chambered in 6.5 Grendel. And that way there, I could get 6.5 Grendel for 30 cents a round. No, that's full retard. He says, if that started, what is buying a rifle dynamics build? Which I think are like, what, $3,500, $4,000, something like that? Yeah, no, that's full retard. You never go full retard.
$10 years ago, we could get...
round.
10 years ago, we could get 1,000 rounds for $100. Makes me sad.
All right, let's see. 6.5 Creed versus 30-06. 6.5 Creed. Are you going to make me put it to a poll?
Yes, I'm going to make you put it to a poll.
Damn it.
And we didn't choose 6.5 Creed. We chose 300 Blackout.
What? I don't even know what you're talking about. Did I really?
What?
Did I grab the wrong one?
I thought so.
Oh, you're right. No. 300 Blackout definitely won. Definitely won.
Yeah, yeah, you just...
No.
You just arbitrarily picked 6.5 Creed.
No. How do I go back and check? 6.5 Creed won. Yeah, Creedmoor won. It was super close. Creedmoor won. Yeah, no, Creedmoor did win. Yeah, Creedmoor did win.
Oh, it was 51-40. It was 51-49.
That's right.
That's what it was. It was like down to the wire.
Oh my gosh, you scared me for a second. I was like, I might have just subconsciously put it in there.
When I was clicking it on my thing, it was Blackout was winning. So
no, it was so close. Barnes paid $1K for a Sam 7. I've heard good things about the Sam 7s. Other than they're like a little bit heavier because they have like a thicker trunnion on them or something like that, or the receivers like the heavier receiver or something like that. 6.5. How the F is 30-06 even close? Gary's trying to override your double votes. I mean, it's 62. 62 is not bad.
I'm not saying that I'm voting across multiple devices, but I have one phone filming me and another phone filming the other side. So
just sitting out here playing on your different phones, like. All right. What do we got? I got distracted there for a second. We got 6.5 Creed at 62%. Perfect. Making me happy. It's making a comeback. But it's about to go head to head with one of your calibers that you have in here.
My absolute favorite of all time. Oh, it's
all
not.
Right, seven. This is a good one because 7.6. We were just talking about this. 7.62 by 39 versus 6.5 Grendel, and I think 6.5 Grendel does everything better than 7.62 by 39. The only problem is price and availability, but I think it's absolutely the better round.
I agree.
I'm actually curious now, so I'm pretty sure it's just gonna outright win. What am I doing? No, not 6.5 Grendel. No, it is 6.5 Grendel. Yeah. All right, star poll. Sam 7 is a nice AK, but they are still pretty rough. Galil is much better deal, in my opinion, for a similar setup. Grendel, Heathen. Don't question the vote. That's right. Questioning the vote will result in an immediate ban for no reason.
This is a free and fair election.
No, it's not. 6.5. What do we have? Oh, it's only at 55%. It's actually pretty close. So theoretically, 54. Theoretically, it could 52. Damn, it's getting closer. 54. Okay. 6.9 Blazer. Just realized I'm a FUD. I mean, yeah, there are certain things that make you a FUD in the community. If you like older cartridges or out of date guns, surplus guns, people are going to call you a FUD, but it's whatever, That's right. I mean, we're at 2 hours and 41 minutes, which is not a short amount of time. Jay Rodriguez, time to go to bed. Have a gentleman. I'm not going to have any gentlemen. I'm sorry, but I will have a good night. So thank you very much, sir.
I will have one gentleman, sir.
You'll have one. All right. Whoa, however you want, man. All right. 6.5 Grendel at 55%. Taking that one home. 7 milliweight versus 6.5 Creed. Now, I am immediately saying 6.5 Creed here because 7 milliweight I
am going to lose.
Stopgap,
but a 708 is a better cartridge.
How is it better?
I'm going to lose. I know that I'm going to lose.
I think the only thing that is better about it. No, I think it's a worse cartridge, but I think the only thing better about it is that your barrel life is slightly better, and 7mm projectiles are probably a little bit easier to find than 6.5, although 6.5 is super popular right now, so I'm not sure. The only right 7mm is a Magnum, 7mm for the parent case. It is June, Glonk Respector says. Ooh. 6.5 has been surpassed by 6mm arc. As I choke. Julian for the $20. Thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciated. He says, thanks for the stream. Good, sir. Fun stuff. Well, you have a wonderful night, sir. By the way, you're like 4 hours behind us, aren't you?
To be fair, I'm vaping, and but I don't like 6.5 Creed, so I'm not that gay.
Well, I mean, do they cancel each other out? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
6.5 greed whore. Well, we appreciate you being here, Julian. But 6.5 Creedmoor with 82% of the vote. The most votes of all time and the freest and fairest election of all time. 1. All right. 22 long rifle versus 6.5 Grendel. What are we thinking here? Because I'm thinking
22. Come on.
Well,
guys.
I know 22 is going to win, but I actually like 6.5 Grendel. I want 6.5 Grendel to win, but we know that 22 long rifle is going to win. Again, I think the only thing that beats 22 long rifle is 5.56, which we might actually get them rematched in the final again, even though 5.56 has already beat it once. 22, 6.5 grenade. Yeah. I gotta say 22. Yeah, I know. I'm losing it. It's fine. We're moving on. We already did that. 6.5 Creed versus 22 long rifle.
I just can't believe that
I'm not gonna win this one, so we're just gonna I'll put it up for a vote. I'm not going to win it. I want 6.5 Creedmoor to win. It's not going to happen. 22 long rifle is just too versatile, honestly. It's pretty good. 5.56, aka 22 longer rifle. Get 22 to 6.5 nerds. Come on, 6.5. 6.5 Creed, you heathens. Yep. Dog woke me up. Dog woke me up. This is turning into PNS modcast length. Yeah. Well, dude, when we looked at this in one of these breakdowns, starting out with 32, it was going to be a long one no matter what.
Yeah.
If we did a 64, like if we did pistol and rifle calibers in the same one, we would be here forever.
We could easily turn this into a
I lost
12-hour
this one.
stream.
Not tonight, dude. I'm getting loopy at this point. All right. Wait, what?
Wait, we said
Already got that.
Yeah, the 22
sorry,
versus 308 is what we have next.
Oh, what? Why don't I see it? Where am I at? Oh, there it is. I see. It wasn't on my screen. All right, so this will be closer, I'm pretty sure, because 22 long rifle did win the last one at 69%. Nice. All right, but I'm pretty sure 457 black powder, of course. Tyler K says, currently snorting caffeine pills. Godspeed, gentlemen. We'll see if I remember any of this tomorrow. Well, if you don't remember any of it, hopefully you knew it was a good time. What's the end game in the rules? The end game in the rules, 308 is no way. It's swapping between 308 and 22. I think 22 is still going to get it though, but it's so close. Damn it. Yeah.
So
red right
the way
hand,
that this works,
308.
we got at the end of round 61, we go back up, and then 2-2-3 against whoever wins 61, and then we have a third place and a fourth place.
All right, so Richard says, no 12-hour stream. John has to get my upper done and shipped out before he leaves for Washington. So your upper is built, sitting out in my garage. I'm only waiting on the muzzle device. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. So it'll be here tomorrow. So it'll go out tomorrow. So it'll leave me tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday? 2-day shipping. So in theory, you should get it on Saturday. In theory, if they do their job right. Yeah, I'm still pinning barrels, man. Just did another couple today. Damn it. It's one vote away, guys. It is 22 long rifle is winning by 1 vote. Oh, yeah, Ronald. Yeah, waited for my upper and it was worth the wait with the little scare at the end that we might have lost it somewhere, which would not have been appreciated. Oh, 50-50. 1 minute.
This is tight.
51% for 308, baby. That's right. 52. It's almost at 2 minutes.
Oh, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it. You're going to send me an LMT. I have an LMT over there. I have a 12.5 that I need to actually do a video on. It's at 2 minutes. The poll made it to 2 minutes. And 22 long rifle lost. I did not think it was going to happen. But 308 pulled it out, which means that in the final for first place, we have exactly what we need. We have 223 versus 308, which is what a lot of people would have wanted.
Again, 223 versus 308 again.
Is that what knocked it out in the first place?
Yes.
Oh no, that's so funny. I didn't realize that. It literally popped it out to fight it over again. That is so funny. Rando says the foul is overrated. So I have shot 1 foul and I wasn't appreciative of it. I thought it was fine. But I don't like mounting things to them is difficult. The recoil's not great. They're kind of heavy. If you're into the vibes, yeah, I mean, the vibes are cool. But it's not necessarily like something I would I would grab. The last minute cheat votes are in. Yep. Rhodesia, yep. We found an extra 5,000 votes for 308. 556 the goat. I agree, sir. But they look so cool with the baby poop camo paint. Yes. The what is the camo called? Do you remember what that's called?
No, I don't remember what that's called. Brushstroke? Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah. It's the Rhodesian vibes. That's what people like. That's what people remember the foul for. The right arm or the free world. Is that what it was called?
Yep. Should have been the battle rifle instead of the M14. We kind of did them dirty with that. So
my dad used the M14 of the Marines, and he loves that. But every time he talks about it, I'm just like, no, it's not great. You like it because it reminds you of your time in the service and whatnot, and but no, it was never great. It was never great. 308 with half the votes, but twice the power, so it's a wash. Computer monitors hate 308. Yes, absolutely. All right, well, 71%, 70%. But I think that's a winning margin for 556. So that gives us the overall winner.
Somehow 223 made it. And I'm disgusted with you guys.
I don't
know why you did this to me. I don't know why you did this. I feel like John may have paid somebody off.
Yeah, I paid them with years of hard work and video entertainment for them to show up and vote for my caliber. The M14 is iconic, yeah. So let's see. What was 223's path to victory? So it had to knock out 300 Blackout, 6.5 Grendel, 30-06, 22 long rifle, 308, and then that old man got back up just to get smacked right back down. Because what's funny is 308 had to go back and fight its way right back to the top for the same matchup, which is hilarious.
See,
all right.
I would have personally said 308.
Personally,
I would have said 308, 22, and then 223. I'm not going to complain too much. 223 is a very, very functional round.
308 ain't here no bell. Day of the pillow for 308. No. 308 went out kicking and screaming, man. He had to get put down twice. There was no pillow for 308. Damn. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Yeah. Well, we're just about done now, Isaiah, but thanks for coming back. He says, is this still going? I left a couple hours ago at work. Glad to be back. Well, I'm glad you're back, sir, but you kind of missed it. 223 had to kill 308 twice to finally clinch it. We had some good runs in the losers bracket as well. 6.5 Grendel, 6.5 Creed, making it a long way. 6.5 Creed losing to 22 long rifle for 22 long rifle to lose in the losers bracket final. I mean, I was kind of expecting the losers bracket final to be cleared by 22 long rifle, but 308 barely clinched it. Yeah.
So what do we think, chat? Do we like this format? Do we want to try something different next time? This was
no, we don't like this. We want something else. This was a bad idea. 2 hours and 53 minutes into the stream. All right. Well, Gary, do you have anything coming up that you would like to discuss?
Eventually coming up, I have been tapped to review some tripods for the channel. Hopefully it turns out okay. I'm trying to have John's level of quality. So we're going to be comparing the Vortex and the Bogs and the two Vets tripods. And hopefully this will be pretty informative because these tripods can get expensive.
Oh yeah. What's the one you have from Vortex right now? It's like $1,200 MSRP.
$1,200 MSRP. It is nuts. But you can find it on Optics Planet for $800.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good place to go. I mean, assuming they actually ship it to you, because I've had that problem with a lot of stuff. Like, I just got a bill the other day for something I bought like 2 months ago, and I was like, what is this bill for? It's like, oh, the thing you wanted came back in stock, and we're shipping it now. It's like, thanks. I already got it from somewhere else, so now I need to cancel my order.
Well, you can also get it on Amazon with 2-day shipping for $7.50. So
Yeah, well, some things you can't get off of Amazon, but to all of the lovely people here, thank you so much for watching. There's going to be a bunch of content coming to the channel shortly. Probably my most controversial video of all time will be dropping on Friday or Saturday. That one there is going to get a lot of hate, but it doesn't matter because the gun is put together like yeah, not very well. Let's just say not very well, because that'll be coming out later on. But I hope you all have a very wonderful night, and we will all chat to you later.